What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast, and we are back with day two Eagles, Patriots, joint practice. And yeah, if I'm being honest, maybe the Patriots won yesterday. If you really want to break it down, win or lose for a joint practice. But to say the Eagles didn't accomplish anything, to say the Eagles didn't do anything or get dominated is a complete lie, especially because one of the best plays for the Patriots would have been a sack in a real game. But even in practice, if the referee had eyes, he was clearly out of bounds. Like I said, hit that like button, turn on the notification bell if you haven't did it already, and subscribe to the channel so you are live with us or know when we drop our next video. Shout out to the real ones in the building, notification gang, 100 people in here within a minute. And I got some clips of what the Eagles offense did do versus the Patriots defense yesterday that wasn't shown. It came out around 6:30. Shout out to, let me get his name right on Twitter, but shout out to, and go follow him if you are not following him. He goes by at the Eagles Weekly, Halen Jerts. So he switched to H and the J, but you can at the Eagles Weekly. He probably won't post it until 6 o'clock tonight, but he got some great clips that we are going to go over. And when you look at what the Eagles run game did, you should be excited. You should be excited. Now, in these clips, you will see one of the 3 Jalen Hurts interceptions. The worst one, the only one that I could really blame him if you want to play the blame game, right? And in terms of Jalen Hurts, a lot of people try to play the blame game. So when you look at the interception I'm going to show you, that I'll blame on Jalen. But the one to Covey, don't have it, but it was reported Covey just went the wrong way. And the other one was tipped off Wick's fingers because he was scared of content. It's not even like it was a bad pass. Wicks just stopped running because he didn't want to get hit. He got scared, it tipped off, and it went right to the Patriots defensive back. But let's take a look at these clips real quick, because I'm trying to tell you, the run game, though, is crazy. Crazy. And hopefully I'm not muted. No, we're not muted. So here we go. Under center run to Saquon Barkley. And look at this. Cuts, breaks it up. That is a 15 to 20 yard run right there early. And who's to say where they mark it? This is another under center run from Saquon Barkley and company. Hurts changing the play. Actually, this is Shipley. So it's Hurts to Shipley. But look how big of holes the O-line is creating. Shipley's not touching until he gets 15 to 18 yards down the field. These holes being created by the offensive line are big time. Now they're going to give it to Saquon. Now I don't know if he's touched here, but 72 Markel Bell is saying, yep, he's all the way. Now the referee don't put their hands up, but that's a big time run. Here we just got a little dump off to Dallas Goedert. Shout out to the pass defense for the Patriots. This is the interception. It's 7-on-7, and I don't know who Jalen was throwing to. He threw it in the middle of 2 Eagles, which went right to the Patriots guy. But we also have this clip of Darius Cooper getting loose deep in one-on-ones and Jalen Hurts hitting them. And last but not least, Jalen Hurts throws a nice dot off his back foot to Elijah Moore, our 5th wide receiver. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks to me close to the end zone, right? That's close to the end zone. Did we not pick it up and keep going? So when they said the Eagles didn't score, I don't know. It looked like Saquon scored to me. Looked like Elijah Moore was either at the end zone or close to it. 5-yard line, 10-yard line. That pylon looks way too close. That pylon looks way too close. But when you look at the run game from under center, whether it was Saquon Barkley or Shipley, they picked up 15, 20, 15. And then maybe there was a 45, 50-yard scamper because 72 put the hand up like, let's go. And come on, Saquon Barkley's not going to run all the way to the end zone if the whistle's blown or people think he got touched. Maybe he stepped out of bounds. I don't know. But again, them clips were promising. And for Saquon Barkley to get back to what he does best, like that 2K say-ish side of him, you're going to need to see these type of holes being created because no running back can do it by themselves. But we need the Eagles offensive line to stay healthy. And let's take a look one more time at these clips before we hear from Nick Sirianni at 9:55. And then at 10:15, practice starts. Again, you start under center. You got Saquon Barkley there. You got some motion. Smitty and Lemon and Dickerson are looking from behind. They're going to hand it to Saquon, cuts it up, and he gets contacted 10, 12 yards down the field to bring up maybe a 15-yard gain. Now you got Dickerson in. They showing the wide receivers as well. Hurts under center. This time it's Shipley. He's going to change the play. Jerrigan's pointing. Hurts takes a snap. Shipley gets the ball, makes one man miss. Big hole opens up, and he runs for 15, 18, 19. I don't know. Now you got Saquon Barkley back in the game, and this is where we can't see if he got touched due to the guy's recording gets cut off by that piece of metal. But 72 says he made it through. And Saquon's doing his peace sign. Why would he do that if he believed he was touched? And mind you, you can't bring Saquon Barkley down with one hand, or even Goddard. Who's to say that's a tackle for Goddard? Now, this is the ugly interception. Like I said, Hurts threw it in the middle of two of his Eagles right to the guy. It is what it is. This is one of the one-on-ones we didn't see that the Eagles posted. And last but not least, our fifth string wide receiver, one-on-one coverage, and Jalen Hurts drops it in the breadbasket. That's close to a touchdown to me. That pylon is way too close for me to say. Now, again, it's a controlled practice. They could have said, okay, we want to try again from our 40. In a game, we would have got the ball right there. So, again, who won practice, I guess, is low-key irrelevant in terms of that's the same kind of stuff as Elliott Shore-Park's training camp stats for Jalen Hurts. But I did think this was noteworthy right here. The Eagles' 44 running back screen routes run since 2021 are the fewest of any team. Lane Johnson believes Manny's new scheme will unlock Saquon. We'll see him flex wide at wide receiver. We'll see him in the screen game. We'll see the Saquon from 2 years ago. So Lane believes not only will we see 2K say again because he's rejuvenated, you got Tank to keep him keep him not overly worked is what I was trying to say. You got the Tank utilization, and I think we're going to utilize him in the screen and pass game. We already heard him tell K. Adams that he's working on routes that he hasn't worked on in a while or ever. So I like that. And since we haven't seen any, these are things that could be held close to the vest in Sean Mannion's new system that he just doesn't want to give up. But I can't watch them clips and not be like, goodness gracious, look at these holes being made. Look at the run game flowing. And that's what opens up the pass game. That run game, bang, 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 from Shipley and Saquon is what opened up the one-on-one for Elijah Moore. That's what we had to work with yesterday. Jalen Hurts, in his first actual joint practice with another team, so you're getting unscouted looks, had to go to war with Wicks, Hollywood, Moore, and Covey, which makes me think, what happens though if the Eagles end up missing Smitty for an extended period of time? That's where it gets scary. Shout out to Gregory Harvey, 8069. Got the wrench on the side of his name. He's been rocking with the channel for a while. My man dropped the $2 super chat to say good morning before I even went live. That is what you call ride or die. Appreciate the love, my guy. Good morning to you and to Eagle Nation. We got 257 in the chat. Hit that like button. Part of the reason we were able to get so many people in here yesterday is because y'all were hitting the like button. So let's hit the like button. Them run plays, though. If you watched them run plays while I was watching them and didn't say, dang. And again, the pylon throw from Elijah Moore, was it close for a touchdown? What transpired after? We'll see. But more importantly, that Saquon Barkley 45, 50-yard scamper, the Eagles' old lineman thought it was good. Saquon thought it was good. Now, the ref didn't put his hand up, but I don't know. But that was all act like that never happened. Like the Eagles really ain't moved the ball at all, which is absolutely cap. And honestly, the run game, all of them, the whistle were blown. Who's to say Saquon didn't break a couple more tackles and take another one of them runs to the end zone or whatnot? So a lot of crazy talk yesterday in terms of what was being said by the Patriots media. And I got no disrespect for A.J. Brown. I'm not trying to disrespect A.J. Brown. No, that's not what we're trying to do. The fact of the matter is, he's not on our team no more. And we can't be crying over spilt milk. We got to move on. It's not the end-all, be-all. He's still a good player, and he's going to make plays for the Patriots, which he did against us. The pass he caught on Reek Woolen over on the crosser, that was legit. The slant that he caught on Quinion, that was legit. I'm just here to point out that Patriots media talked about domination and then said that the play of the day was the play that from the line of scrimmage, it wouldn't ever happen in a real game. But more importantly, what we can definitively say is my man stepped out. Not saying he ain't a good receiver. Raymond said going to be a different story this morning when the Eagles dominate. Yeah. Then it's going to be more of a 50-50, blah, blah, blah. And again, even if we are dominating, I'm going to hype it up in the stream in terms of it's my reaction, and I'm hyped for our Eagles. Shoot, when we are doing the live play-by-plays and the Eagles start the game 7-0 versus the Commanders, I'm going to be like, dang, we blowing them out. Now, what transpires after that, I'll keep it 100 on that as well. In my videos, that's where I'm going to analyze everything that happened and come and keep it 100, which I gave Drake May credit for yesterday because he reportedly only had a few incompletions, and that was pretty generalized across Eagles and Patriots media. So I'm going to keep it 100 and straight up say Drake May had a good day, although he should have one more incomplete pass due to the fact that AJ stepped out, but he had a good day. We didn't rough him up and or pick him off a bunch of times. And I'm not telling people to forget that Jalen Hurts had 3 interceptions, but all of them being on 7-on-7s. He said he struggled. He's human. He's allowed to have a bad game or bad practice. It's when you see it becoming consistent, that's when you got to be worried. And when you have a sample size of him not throwing interceptions, right? Even in what people call down years, the last 2 years combined, it was 11 in 2 seasons. So that's 5.5 per season. It's not bad. You got quarterbacks out here throwing double-digit interceptions each year. Greg, what's going on? Glad you are coming through as a new viewer. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Lemon is at practice. Let's go, Birds. DH. Oh, I did want to show y'all this before we see. Did the Eagles go live yet? I thought Nick Sirianni was speaking at 9:55. Supposedly, Sirianni was supposed to be speaking at 9:55. I don't know. This is actually a really good statement by Patrick. If A.J. Brown was the best player on the field, as the Eagles beats have said, then there is one inescapable conclusion. He quit on the team last year, and it wasn't injuries. It wasn't age. He quit. I always have love for AJ helping the Eagles win a Super Bowl, but I lost respect for him now that we know definitively that he quit on the team and fans, especially if he's, like they said, was the best player. Now, we were down one of our best players in Smitty, but that's neither here or there. Let's go ahead and look at how Jeff Lurie came to practice. Wait, we already got Mekhi Lemon running before practice. Seems very close to being back. It's a good sign. Let's take a look at it again. He's backpedaling. I thought they were rewinding him for a second, but that's a good sign of him possibly being back. Maybe this game, maybe this practice. But if not, he'll be back before the season. That's for sure. But that does leave out some training camp, joint practice, preseason time to get fully acclimated. But I'd rather him be healthy than hurt. What else we got? Jeff Lurie came in to practice on a helicopter. Look at this. Whoa. Jeff Lurie arriving to Patriots practice in style. My man flew in on a chopper. Jeff Lurie is here. He said, what? I need to see the payback in these Eagles' eyes for this second one. I don't know if he was there at the first one. I think he was, though. But my man came in on the chopper. Chopper. Here we go. Cooper DeJean nearly takes out Andrew Makuba with a no-look pass. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. He definitely not playing quarterback. Almost killed him. Almost killed our man. So I guess, Nick Sirianni.
Mentally, you're everything you can do to help that. And then obviously, too, good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Fashionably late.
Works his way back. Are there things you guys can do as coaches to help him catch up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, shoot, the extra meeting time, being able to go through some of that stuff, like even just when that meeting time, too, you can just, walk through some things and in the meeting room. And so, yeah, always mentally, you're doing everything you can do to help that. And then obviously, too, you want to be in great shape. So there's things that, that you can do there too, as well. As far as, what he's doing in the training room to make sure that he's in as good a shape as he possibly can be when he steps back on the field. So all those things are thought about, and we're working through all those things right now. Good work back and forth. Just like, excuse me, just like, there's back and forth in, our practices when it's us versus us. It was good back and forth yesterday. This is why, and I just felt like these guys, a really well coached team with good players, a really successful team. That's why you pick teams like this to go against. And so we really got good work, and that's what we were looking for. And can't say enough about the Patriots and Coach Vrabel and how good that practice was. We're looking for another day to be able to go through that today.
On that note, Nick, a lot has been made about whether you won or lost practice. Do you guys evaluate that? How do you evaluate these 2 days?
Yeah, just like we evaluate normal practices. You go through it and you're making the corrections, you're praising the good things, you're making corrections to the things that need to be fixed, and you're looking for improvement on a daily basis throughout training camp. We don't get too much into the win and loss of a joint practice. There's a lot of different situations we're working, different scenarios we're working, different flows of the game. It's not truly a drive. So again, we're just looking for good work and be able to correct and praise the things that went well.
Some years you've had 2 teams you've gone against. This year only one. What was the reason for that?
This is the way it worked out this year. Thought we could get good 2 days work against, again, a team that is a good football team, that's well coached, and just have a good working relationship with Coach Vrabel, and appreciate him.
Jalen Hurts was mentioning yesterday about maybe working on some details with the offense and more alignment and stuff like that. Where do you think it is overall with alignment and everything at this point in the preseason?
Yeah, again, you're just looking to stack days upon days and looking for progress, right? And the things that we're really focused on, making sure that we're all on the same page as far as our assignments, our effort, our fundamentals, our pre-snap penalties. So, again, we've been making improvements there because you have no choice but to make improvements when you practice the way our guys do. They put everything into practice. We get good intensity at practice. And so, I think it's been a good progression, and we're continuing to look to get better.
Your offense struggled against simulated pressures last year. What does the new offense do to address that?
Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into scheme, but you always are looking for. You want to try to put the guys in as many uncomfortable positions as you possibly can. You get that in practice, you get that in walkthrough, you get that going against different teams, like we are right now. And again, you might think that you're going to come out and see a certain defense, but we know that, they game plan too. And so you're trying to put yourself into as many unknowns as possible and play your rules with those unknowns and then make adjustments off of that. And so, yeah, again, I think it's just so important at this time of year where you're testing your rules versus every different look you can get. And this is a great opportunity for us to just, you can do that in walkthroughs, you can do that in some periods where it's like an offensive emphasis or a defensive emphasis, which we do in during training camp amongst each other. But this is a great opportunity for us to get some more unknowns when we go against another team.
You and AJ had a lot of success together. Was it weird practicing against them? Did you get a chance to catch up with them? What was yesterday like for you?
Yeah, just good to see all those guys. Good to see AJ. Good to see Milton. Good to see Christian Ellis. And some of the guys there. I've been on a team with Hunter Henry. Good to see him. You build relationships with guys, and those relationships, when they're strong, are lifelong relationships. So it's always good to see those guys. Obviously we've had a ton of success together. So it was good to see those guys yesterday.
Sounds like Bernard is iffy for week 1. Did he suffer a setback?
I think he's doing a nice job progressing. We'll see where that is. We'll see where that is as we get closer to it. But he's working really hard to get himself back and doing the things that he needs to do and the things that he can control. And so, yeah, I'm not ready to say that or where we are on any of that yet. Except for the guys that aren't out there practicing are working hard to get themselves back. And we got a great training staff and doctors and strength and conditioning staff that are working hard to make sure he's ready when he can be.
How much more value can you get from working your new offense against an opponent as opposed to going against yourself in training camp or even in the preseason game?
Yeah, again, I think it's kind of what we talked about earlier. in the sense of you're trying to test your rules versus every different thing. And again, in walkthroughs or in, offensive emphasis or defensive emphasis periods, you can simulate, hey, let's get a nickel pressure on this, or a safety pressure here, or a line stunt here. And so it's just, in a practice like this, you're getting some more of that you haven't seen on a daily basis, or even stuff that you haven't scripted into a daily basis. So that's always good, because again, we want to make sure our job description to the players is extremely clear. And it's not like, and when you do job descriptions, it's like, hey, here's your assignment, but here's what you have to do versus all these different looks. And as we know, there's so many different looks that defense can throw at an offense, and vice versa, offense can throw at a defense. So you're trying to prepare them for every scenario. And sometimes the answer is, hey, we got to do this combination or make this call right here. And sometimes it's, hey, we got to check out of the play. But you want to put them in as many unknowns as possible, so they're handling those things second nature when it comes to the game. And so this is always beneficial.
Yeah, sorry, I'm from Boston.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Yeah, good.
You guys have a new offensive coordinator this year, some other new coaches, which is not unusual for you. What's that like as a head coach? Just kind of every year, like building a new staff and building a new offense.
Yeah, it's the way of the NFL, and I know Coach McVay goes through this a lot, and I know Coach Shanahan goes through this a lot, and we've had to go through this a lot. And so one thing that's awesome is you get to
hold up real quick. See, that's what gets me mad right there. He literally said Coach Shanahan goes through this, Coach McVay goes through this, but it doesn't matter when McVay or Shanahan goes through this, simply because they're the play caller. Yes, a new offensive coordinator is in there working your offense, helping your offense, talking with the offense, but they're the play caller. That's what stays. So it's still a difference. Tough, detailed together. That's cool.
Meet and work with different people. That's what's a great thing about football, is it brings people together that you probably wouldn't have ever met otherwise. And so you get to form these new relationships and everything like that. But there's a lot of work, obviously, that goes into that as well, of, all the things that have to be taught and thought through. And hey, if you're in this scenario, situational football especially, of, hey, when we're in this scenario, this is the kind of plan of attack of how we do things. And so it's getting everybody on the same page in that manner of the game management portion of it. So it's fun. It's a long process, but it is a big part of the process that we got to go through, and it's always fun going through it with new guys. And not only are they learning about kind of a way we attack in different certain ways, offensively, defensively, but you're also getting to learn how they've done it in the past, and that's great collaboration, because sometimes you're like, I haven't thought about it that way. And you find the best path for the 2026 Eagles, not, hey, what the 25 Packers did or what the 24-5 Eagles did, but what's the best path for this team. And so, with that comes growth, and and I always appreciate that, and that's this time of year and with new guys.
Sean said that he was going to experiment.
You're from Boston, yeah? Okay, very well.
Sean Mannion said he was going to experiment up in the booth the next game. Just what are your perspective on the pros and cons of that perspective?
Yeah, everybody's a little different, and so I want to make sure that he has an opportunity to feel both things out. Again, some guys like to be up in the booth, some guys like to be on the field. Without getting too much into it, I always think it's important to be able to have a direct line of communication to guys.
Real quick, shout out to Gregory with the $2 super chat. He said, preach. And I think he was talking about what I said in terms of the play calling, or maybe Sirianni. But that's interesting, too, as Nick is now talking about Sean Mannion going to the booth to call the plays. His first preseason game, he was on the floor. He wants to try the booth. that's going to make it more Sean Mannion's thing because it's going to be less sideline conversation with Nick.
We got coaches that we trust to be on the field to be able to handle that. But, I know that's always something that when guys call it on the field, they like to be down there to feel the flow of the game and the flow of the players. And on the other end, being up in the box, right, you can have a ton of papers lie out, kind of thought processes that you might not be able to have on the field, different view of the game, of seeing different things. Obviously the NFL's made it very easy for the guy that's in the box calling the play to be able to directly talk to the quarterback, which, so that used to not be the case. I remember in 2010, I was talking to the quarterback, but Charlie Weiss was calling the plays from upstairs. They didn't have that communication yet. So that's not a thing anymore, but benefits, there's positives and negatives to both sides. And it's just weighing out what works best. There's so many different ways to do this. Like there's so many different ways to lead a football team. There's so many different ways to run an offense or a defense. There's so many different ways to work situational football. And it's about finding out what's best and what works for you. I think young in my career, it's like, no, this is the only way to do it. That's just not the way it is. Like there's so many different ways to do it. And it's being open and finding out the best way of how your team should go about it.
I know, obviously, we're from the same hometown as Brian Hodson from this area. I know we went to a joint practice. You went to practice earlier this year. What can you say about him as a person, and how much you look forward to seeing him do a promise?
Yeah, he was a little younger than me, so we didn't know each other quite as much until we got into this coaching profession. And it's been fun following his career. Obviously, he's a star of of how fast he's risen up the coaching ranks. So excited to, now that I've been able to follow him the last couple of years. Always fun to watch another team when it comes to March Madness and into college basketball, because I'm sure a big fan of that. But I've enjoyed getting to know him and obviously see the talent that he has as a coach has been fun. And being able to bounce, as another guy, I'm able to bounce ideas off of. He was able to sit in on some of our meetings and, just be able to bounce some ideas. I'm always interested to see how basketball teams operate as opposed to football teams, because there's differences, but there's things that we can learn from each other. And rooting for them and for his success, because obviously I think highly of him.
Have you thought about the new rule with the challenge flag? Are you going to?
But I still like Villanova basketball. I still gotta.
The new rule with the challenge flag. Are you going to keep it yourself?
That we had a quick discussion about it, but I don't know. I'm definitely going to keep that because my direct communication upstairs, again, I don't want to have a misstep or anything like that where, there's times on the challenge flag from my perspective that
he's keeping the flag, guys.
I think back to 2022, Smitty catches a ball over his shoulder in Washington, at Washington, and we run a play fast, and Coach Rivera throws the flag, but the ball is being snapped as he throws the flag, and we actually beat the challenge. And so in my eyes, the way we need to do it, the way the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do it, is I just want that direct communication. So if I have to get the flag out quick, I'm not saying my release is really quick. I'm not saying anything like that, but like, at least I can get that out quick. That's just my feeling on it of what we're going to do. And, because I know sometimes it comes down to just little tenths of seconds to be able to get that flag out per the 2022 Washington game.
Two more.
And two more questions, then we about to get to practice, y'all.
Yeah, again, these first 2 days obviously is all focused on practice, and then we'll be focusing on getting ready for the game. But naturally, guys will go out to eat together. Guys will spend time together. Coaches will spend time together. Coaches and players will spend time together. And there's a lot of time, excuse me, Zach, too, where they're just together, being together. I think one thing we talk an awful lot about when we talk about connection, there's, you can form connection through adversity, of tough practices, of adversity that you face as a football team together. You can grow connection through building trust on a daily basis, but there is no substitute for you. You have to spend time. You can't just form a connection without spending time with each other. And so and there is no shortcut on that. It's like, how do you gel a team to get quickly to come together? Time is one of the most important things that we have here on this to be able to build a connection as a football team. And so this is just probably a more carved out time than they get, because they're not going back to the hotel or anything like that. And they almost, you spend more time together in that. So I always appreciate that about this portion of practice, of a joint practice.
How much of the offense are you unable to get to next sideline?
We're still getting to a lot of it. You're still installing your base offense and still going through it. And you're this isn't, if a guy misses time in a season, you may pivot and shift, but you're still gonna, the things that are your bread and butter, your base offense, you're still gonna work through. So we're working through that right now.
Last one, guys.
From now until the start of the season, what do you need to see from Makai Lemon to trust him?
Makai Lemon question.
You just want to make sure that he's just like all our guys. I talk a ton about, making sure that we're all on the same page. Everyone knows their job description. So it's, building trust within that, and it's, the fundamentals and all those different things. And I wouldn't say I have anything that's a check mark or anything like that. When and there's a feel to it. And I know he's working like crazy to get back.
All right. Thanks.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking about play calling though.
He said, "Let me get another
question," and I'm gonna get.
And we have 80 seconds. So when you got to play call a situation.
See, he's always pushing people out, and I'm like, yeah, another question. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Man, practice is supposed to start 6 minutes ago.
For play calling.
Those are nice sunglasses, Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When you stumble into
you look like Robert De Niro.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That you've been planning for, where you know the play that you want to get to.
Yeah.
The quarterback presumably knows the play you want to get to. What's that feeling like to get into it, to call it in those 25 seconds? Is it a little bit different when it's like exactly what you wanted?
If I'm assessing your question right, that we try to do some different things in training camp where we take the play clock down to put as much stress on us as we possibly can to push our operation as fast as we possibly can. And so it is just this perfect, like, everyone's got to work together, from coaches to players, to get that communication in, and to get, if you have a check on the play or anything like that, it's about being all on the same page. And so it's actually a pretty cool process of how many pieces and parts it takes to do their job, so everybody can do their job right. One person doesn't do their job right in that particular case, and that's 65 times plus a game, then it's going to struggle.
Thank you.
All righty. There you heard it from head coach Nick Sirianni. Vibing with a $2 super chat. He dropped it twice to correct the spelling. He said, "I believe Lemon is practicing today. He is TBT, which is to be determined. He's out there running around early before the pads get on, so we will see soon." KB Writer said if he just learned to keep his answers short, he would catch so much less flack. And I saw your longer comment, and I agree. If you listen to the first sentence or two, he says it's cool, but then he'll say 5 more sentences that just kind of take away from what he said in the first 2 sentences. But I've learned, I learned to live with that already. That don't even bother me as much anymore. I just was cracking up. He said, "I'm keeping a challenge flag so I don't know if my release is faster or not." He's like, "I'm the fastest flag thrower in the game, so I need to keep the challenge flag." But nah, I thought it was just funny. But it is what it is. Let's get to actual practice now. Coach Nick Sirianni speaking. Look, one more time, Cooper DeJean almost took Mukuba's head off with the no-look pass. That's why Cooper got to stay on defense and not play around on offense. Almost took his head out. One more time, see a big screen. Cooper's what, our 4th-string emergency quarterback or something? He over there taking snaps. What we doing over here? Let's see what's going on. There's the video again of Mekhi Lemon running prior to practice. Let's go ahead and see what's being said. Mekhi Lemon is back. It's official. Shout out to Rye Vibin for the $2 super chat that called the TBD. Not only is it TBD, it is official tissue now. Mekhi Lemon rocking the number 9. And the beautiful thing is he got his pads on. If Mekhi Lemon is practicing, that means Smitty got to. Well, here's the thing. Yesterday, Smitty had his pads on and he practiced in individual drills, but he didn't practice in team drills. So let's see what Smitty's upgrade is. Does he get to play actually in the 7-on-7s and in the 11-on-11s? And let's see if the upgrade for Mekhi is to put pads on and be in individual drills. So just because the pads on don't mean he will be in 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. After yesterday, the pass game needs some of our wide receivers to come back. Dontavian Wicks did take a little spill to the ground, got up, was checked by trainers. They said he was good to go. He came back into the game, but he was, after that little shimmy route, he kind of went to sleep or something. I don't know. JXM Chris said Gonzo is out again for the Pats. That's a big part of their defense. Joe said, Philly Mike, I'm with you. Our second string O-line is beastly. We are stacked. 1,500 plus yards for 26. Sign me up for that 1,500 plus for sure. You got Lane Johnson saying that he believes that 2024 Saquon's going to be back, especially with our offensive line. Pretty Mimi showing some love to Mekhi Lemon. Gonzo in contract negotiations. Yeah, they're going to have to pay this man to keep him. Vera Jones said, you got this, Mekhi. Real quick for the people just coming in here, I found a bunch of run plays that weren't shown via the Philly media from yesterday's practice. Since we got some time before practice starts, let's just take a look at a couple. Again, these are under center runs. And if the offensive line is moving bodies like this, it's going to be a crazy run game season. Hurts, hands it to Saquon. He makes one man miss, cuts it up, and picks up 15 before he's touched by any defender. Next play is going to be to Will Shipley. Another under center run for the Eagles. This time, Jalen's going to change the play. Boom. Shipley hears it. Jalen under center, and I like this run a lot. Shipley, little sidestep, makes the man miss, and he picks up, 15 to 20 yards before he's touched. These are monster holes being created, and I think this is a touchdown. The offensive lineman, 72, thinks it's a touchdown. Saquon thinks it's a touchdown. Outside zone running scheme. He's scampering up the sideline. The ref don't put her hand up, but I don't know what transpired. If you just got a hand on him, does it really count? Because it's Saquon Barkley. Little short pass to Goddard. Now, the rest of them are pass plays. This is the Jalen Hurts interception on 7-on-7. It was ugly. Can't lie. He threw it in between two Eagles right to the New England guy. But we finish out with a Darius Cooper 1-on-1. He beat his man. Jalen Hurts drops it in the breadbasket. And this was the big play to our fifth string wide receiver, Elijah Moore. Hurts off his back foot, throws a dot to Elijah Moore. And to me, look how close that pylon is. That pylon looks like he's in the end zone or right next to the end zone. So that all wasn't documented correctly to me, but that's neither here or there. Of course, they're going to talk about Nick Sirianni said the Eagles don't assign W's and L's to their joint practice evaluation. Jeff Lurie and Nick Sirianni speak before day 2 of Eagles practice. Jeff Lurie flew in on a plane, bro. I mean, on a helicopter. Jeff Lurie came in on the chopper. Chopper. Russ said that was 15 yards. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. But every run was at least a first down. Every single run was at least a first down. That moves the chains. And we don't know what the Saquon Barkley was because that little metal piece was blocking it, but it looked like Eagles were signaling he'd go all the way. And if you're talking about the pass, that definitely wasn't 15 yards. Hopefully we got some help in the passing game with Smitty and Lemon possibly being back. They both have pads on, but as I said yesterday, Smitty had the pads on and it didn't accumulate because he only got to do individual drills. Smitty right there again in the same picture as Sirianni, and I got to sneeze. I'm allergic to bullshit. Not my bullshit. Some of the shit in the chat. Here we go. Practice is still showing them stretching. Mekhi Lemon, he's going through all the movements. I hope to see him out there. I hope to see the young bull out there. This will be huge. Shout out to the 450 people in the building. Do me a favor and hit the like button. It's free, it's easy, it don't cost a thing, and it's greatly appreciated. Yesterday, we pretty much had 1,000 people to 900 people in here, and it was all due to y'all hitting the like button. The main core hits the like button to bring the other ones in. Let's hit that like button. There's no reason why we shouldn't at least have 250, maybe 300 likes. If half of y'all hit it, we are Gucci. 803 Hitman in the building. That's that lemon pepper that you got that got you sneezing, gang. I hear you. Woo-wee! I'm excited. Air VMB said AJ is sucker talking about he won against Q, but you dropped it. Yeah, he said that Q held him. That's neither here or there. He did show love to some of the Eagle players, and you know, I'm done on the hating part of AJ Brown. It's just he's no longer an Eagle. Whether he's a really good receiver for the Patriots or not, that doesn't affect us. But I hear you, you know. I ain't gonna lie. The way it all transpired, I did lose a lot of respect. But now that it's over, I'm just trying to move on. Of course, I got to talk about him now simply because we playing against him. Maria Langston said, it's only practice. You ain't lying. You right. It's only practice. But it's practice with our ones versus other ones. So it's the closest thing you can simulate to a game. But I do like the fact that Nick Sirianni, lengthy answer, but he talked about it's hard to say WL in a training camp joint practice because you don't know what we're working on. One of them Saquon Barkley runs could have been for 20 yards. And instead of picking up at the spot where we did it, they just want to redo it. So now the next play, we don't get them 20 yards. And then they say blah, 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 blah. So we don't know what is being asked of in certain sessions. Again, when you're there, you can kind of guess, especially if you see Saquon Barkley bringing the ball back. Is there a flag? I don't know. But everybody want to hear who won and lost. I just want to see some good football. I want to hear reporting on some good football because at the end of the day, we've been there in terms of the Eagles Super Bowl season and one of the most dynamic playoff runs in NFL history. That season, we started 2-2. That season, the Eagles started 2-2. The first month of football, we were 2-2, and we flipped the switch. So again, in this type of sport, it's the long game. It's continuing to get better via the long game. Markel Bell, and I'm not sure who, throwing the medicine ball, getting warmed up before joint practice happens. Mekhi Lemon catching passes before joint practice happens. Mekhi taking part in practice for the first time since day 4 of camp. Think about this. we would be on day 14, day 13, if we were counting this as our own training camp. But it is. It's a day of training camp. We're just sharing it with the Patriots. That being said, it's been 10 practices since he suited up. Rob Carr. I said Robo. Rob Carr said, hopefully Devontae is practicing for real today. At least Smitty. He should be closer to come back. JXM Chris said no Jalen Carter on the field. That's concerning. Let's see if we get an update on Jalen Carter. AJ Brown visibly excited again today to take on the Eagles. He's getting the energy up. My man preaching to the choir. And what are we doing over here? That full pad Mekhi Lemon got me excited. I ain't even gonna lie. Question to JXM Chris. Who told you? Who are you checking at on Twitter? Who are you following on Twitter that told you Jalen Carter's not on the field? David said, how many Super Bowls has Josh Allen taken your team to, Sam? Dun, 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 dun. Before we go any further, though, because joint practice is about to literally start, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, Prize Picks, which is America's #1 sports picks app. And it's so simple. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineups. That's it. However, maybe you rather pick the team that wins instead of player stats, which is now on Prize Picks. Spreads, totals, pick'ems, whether it's a game or a fight. And best of all, Prize Picks got a new user offer that is really going to benefit you. Now, just play $5 and get $150 in lineups. If you win, you got to use code HMA when signing up to once again play $5. If you win, you'll get $150 in lineups. Sheesh. Shout out to Prize Picks. Link is in the description. Make sure you go check them out. The season is upon us. I think Mekhi Levin's over-under in the first week is like 36 yards, bro. You can get him over for 36. He's definitely getting 36, probably on one play. DBK in the building. Pinero, the ghost in the building. Shout out to y'all. New coach, new era, says Sam for her Buffalo Bills. And so, look, we got nothing against y'all. Y'all in the AFC. And I low-key root for Josh Allen and company. And you over here disrespecting Jalen Hurts. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? These teams know they love the Eagles chats. They be loving it. They love it. First of all, one of my best friends in my circle is a Bills fan. And so I low-key root for the Bills when it has nothing when it doesn't involve us at all. I low-key root for the Bills and he low-key root for the Eagles. So it pains me to have to try to bring it to the front and smoke the Bills. But I will. I'm here to talk football, not emotions. Okay. Well, let's talk wins. That's the ultimate team goal. Derek Moore with a $2 super chat said Dave Zangaro reported on Jalen Carter's absence. Interesting. I follow him. I don't see him popping up on my screen though. Let me just maybe I don't have his Dave Zangaro. Maybe I don't have his what? I don't follow Dave Zangaro. What the is going on? That something changed. Mekhi Lemon back for practice. Johnny Mundit has been the Eagles tight end 2 all camp. Yeah, he has. There it is, 5 minutes ago. Shout out to the real ones letting me know. Derek Moore with the 3rd super chat of the day. All love is appreciated to the channel. My guy said, don't see Jalen Carter at the start of joint practice during stretch. We'll get an injury report soon. Also not practicing Byron Young, Damon Pierce, John O, Grant Calcaterra, Johnny Wilson, Jacorian Bennett, and now Elijah Moore, the guy who caught the big time pass and play yesterday, is now not practicing. We'll get an update on Jalen Carter soon enough. The 1st round pick from the slot. I like that. Let's take a look-see. 1st round pick from the slot on a quick out. I like that. Boom. 2 feet in. Talk about it. Y'all going crazy in the chat. Vera Jones said, is Jalen Carter okay? Well, he's not out there at the stretching period. Again, there's so many things that could be happening, right? He could have just tweaked something yesterday. Who knows? We have to wait and see for the official report. But there was no reports yesterday that Jalen Carter went down and couldn't get up, or Jalen Carter this, that, and the third. So let's wait and see. Ryan Smith with the Penn State default pick said, I am excited to have Lemon back. We need him. Yes, these reps are important, Ryan. I absolutely agree with you. However, after seeing Jordan Tyson, the 1st round pick wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, come back from a hamstring a little too early, and now is reported to be out for 2 months after he re-injured it. So hamstring, missed time, came back early because he needed reps, and now he'll be missing 2 months of the season. So I'm happy he's back, but I'm hopefully praying that nothing transpires along those lines. But as much as we need in terms of the passing game, we need Mekhi Lemon back to get reps. Hopefully he's healthy enough to do it, but the reps, if healthy, are important. However, to move the ball, we need our best offensive pass catcher, and that is hands down Devontae Smith. Again, I don't want to poo-poo on A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown showed us yesterday that he didn't lose a step. Honestly, that makes everybody who said A.J. Brown quit seem more right, because he wasn't the same last year, running routes, dropping footballs, this, that, and a third, and bada bing, now he's over here looking crazy good. But what I'm trying to say is, early in the season, before the drama really started with A.J. Brown, the leading receiver was none other than Devontae Smith. Honestly, the proof is in the pudding. He requested a trade week 3 or 4. In the first 3 weeks of the season, Devontae Smith led the Eagles in targets and receiving yards. Now, I'm not saying Devontae Smith is better than A.J. Brown. I'm not saying if there was no crying that it would have never went back. It was 3-game sample size. That's a small sample size. But there was a time where Smitty was getting the ball like the number 1 until a lot of stuff happened. So I just want to remind that. That's not me saying who's better this, that, and the third. We're just talking facts about what transpired last year. ENI said the whole team looked bad last season, honestly. Yeah, there's times you can point the whole team. I mean, even Smitty dropped the ball in the playoffs. But it was still talked about throughout the entirety of the season that A.J. Brown was running routes slower, taking plays off, not blocking the same, and he ain't have a season with the Eagles where he dropped as many balls. So the O-line was bad, but they were hurt. Jalen Hurts barely threw many yards. Kevin Patula was calling plays. So, but yes, so look, again, I want to honestly say, I wish it ended different with AJ so I didn't lose that much respect, but I'll always remember the 2024 season. He was a part of it. He caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl champion as a Philadelphia Eagle. And that's where I'll leave it. If you ask me, do I think he's a good player? Yes. He showed it yesterday. But we got a good player too in terms of Devontae Smith, and we just need him to get on the field. Shout out to Light Bear with the $5 super chat. 1991, 92, 93, 94. What are we talking about with that? What are we talking about? 91, 92, 93, 94. You don't got to super chat it again, but what is that in reference to? Light Bear, if you can please tell me. But I greatly appreciate the super chat. Oh, that's the Bills' back-to-back Super Bowl losses. That's what it is. It's the Bills' back-to-back Super Bowl losses. They went to the Super Bowl in 91, 92, 93, and 94, and they lost. That got to be demoralizing for a fan base, right? Because when you get to the Super Bowl, you're excited. Then you lose, and you're still feeling like you can run it back. Then when you prove that you can run it back, you get there again and lose again. And you're like, there's no way we can, oh, shoot, we're getting there again? We got to win this time. And it's loss after loss after loss. Sorry, Sam. Not really. 4 straight losses. I couldn't think of it, but then I remember the Bills person in here. Shout out to Light Bear for dropping a $5 super chat to just remember. That's crazy. Let's see what's going on. As practice started, here we go. Eagles take the field 40 seconds ago. Well, he needs to be fired. Eagles take the field. If the New England Patriots broadcast shows the Eagles as well, I'll put that on like we did yesterday for a little bit. But here we go. Eagle players take the field. You can see Stowers, who had a decent day yesterday, I guess. They're showing DB drills on the Patriots website. Let me see real quick. Let's see. What? Let's see. Patriots broadcast is showing some what do you call it? Let's go ahead and pull it up real quick. Let's make sure the Eagles not showing anything cool. Okay. Looks like AJ Brown was out of bounds against Quinyon in one-on-ones. We got our first look at one-on-one, Quinyon Mitchell and AJ Brown. Patriot fans saying that's in. Of course they will. Let's see. Quinyon, force him out. Oof, that one was close. Let's look at this again. Boom. Q playing with outside leverage, playing with inside leverage, knowing he got speed. You gotta play him a little tighter. Look at this. Up, one hand. One. Oh Lord, that toe is close, but that looked like it was in. I'll look at it again. That looked like it was in. That looked like it was in. Let's go ahead and pull up the Patriots thing because they're showing a lot. They're showing it full screen too. Okay, Cooper DeJean gets his revenge on number 3. I gotta pull this up so I can show y'all. What am I doing? Stop screen. Share screen. Share. All right, let's look at it. Oh, wait. Why is it like that, though? Okay, Quinyon Mitchell, cover number 9. Didn't allow anything. Why is it still showing it like that? I don't know if that's a catch or not. There we go. There we go. Let's watch this for a little bit because they go to whole screen. Wide open on the rookie Mac McWilliams. Again, my main thing is watching Quinyon Mitchell. Let's watch Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Reek Woolen work. You know what I mean? Reek Woolen on that play gets a PBU. So far, AJ might have caught it over Quinyon, but Quinyon beat number 9. Coop beat number 3, and Reek just beat somebody. Now we're going to get Ringo getting cooked, but a flag on the play probably on Ringo. Here we go. Why is it showing it different on my phone than what it's showing on here? Hold on. Let's see something. Bang, bang. Now going crazy. Buffering. Here we go. So when I was looking at it prior to them coming up, we did have some great PBUs from some of our starters. There it is, AJ Brown. Another catch on Quinyon. Or is maybe that's the same one? I don't know. Was that one-handed or not? I looked away for a second. Let's go. Come on, DBs. Let's get some PBUs. Okay. Climbing the ladder. There's number 35 on Pop Douglas. Look, they're going to motion in 1 Oh, now it's 2-on-2s? Okay, so that's how he got beaten. A 2-on-2. Matt Collins, former Eagle, beat Ringo. There we go. Little something. Let me go ahead and double check. I think someone said it was a beautiful play. Elliott Shore Park said AJ Brown just won a matchup versus Quinyon. It was 2v2. AJ got open for the touchdown from a few yards out. Do they have any picture of? So this is the AJ versus Q. Yo, they use AJ in motion. All right, we got to bookmark that. I'll show you that one then after we look at the Patriot stuff. What's going on, guys? Who's that? 21? That's a safety? Cole Wisniewski, the rookie? Yeah, again, these are the 1-on-1s are for the receiver to win. There's so much space One-on-ones are set up for the receiver to win. But it would be nice still to see some But Cooper DeJean so far is playing. That's against Mac McWilliams, the rookie. No, who is that? Looks like Cooper DeJean is up. Coop! Get that payback, Coop. Get that payback, Coop. Here we go. Snap. Throw. And that is not Coop. That is Quinion versus AJ. And the ref says touchdown. The ref says touchdown. It was a slant. Q was all over him, but he gets the catch. And now Reek just got beat. I'm going to say this one more time. It is set up for the receiver to win, but let's just see what we got here. Q started out nice. He got cooked, though. I mean, he not getting, like, the word cooked, it to me means he got beat bad. Like, he was on A.J. Brown's hip both times. Just A.J. Brown played better offense. Sometimes good defense gets beat by better offense. And so nothing against our guy. You just got to credit the offensive player. Shout out to Drake May where he put the ball. Again, no rush. It's one-on-ones. And shout out to AJ making the play. It is what it is. Right before I put this on, though, the Eagles had a couple PBUs. Coop against number 3, Pop Douglas. Reek versus number 9, whoever that is for the Patriots. Looks like it's going to be over, so we going back to Twitter. Thanks for watching. No. You're not getting our chill. We go back to Twitter. So we saw the first play, right? Let's look at it again. The very first play was none other than the very first play was AJ versus Q. It's a one-hand grab. He might get that big toe in. Bop, bop. Think Quinion played a little bit too much inside on that play. Regardless, we got some other plays that we got to go over. So this was the rematch. This is in full. Let's look at the full screen version. Inside, one hand, and he got him. Got his revenge. Got his revenge. Here we got. Ooh. Man. One thing about Dontavian Wicks is the way he released off the line of scrimmage is crazy. 7 didn't know what to do with him. But I need to see that same energy when he's going across the middle, right? The man got scared the other day and created an interception on Jalen Hurts' name. But look at that. His stutter step at the line of scrimmage is crazy. Again, now he didn't make the guy spin around this time, but Wicks, he a bad man. Here's another one with Wicks. Oh, this is the other play A.J. Brown had. Hold on one second. Let's look at it. No, is this the same one? Yeah, it is. Same one. Let's see if we get some other stuff. Is this the same one again? I saw the other one, though. They posted it. Thought somebody posted it. It was a 2v2. Oh, here's a 2v2. So look, 2v2, they had to use motion to get AJ open. Bro, I saw a better version of it, though. This just in, Jalen Hurts intercepted in 11-on-11s. Pass was toward Hollywood Brown in tight coverage. Short over the middle, was deflected up and picked off. So another deflected pass turning into an interception. Lord have mercy on my soul. Shout out to Joe Eagle for the post. This is the full version of Dontavian Wicks routing up. Man, I'm going to just say one thing. That is a sick route, though. Wish he could contribute that into 11-on-11s, but it's a sick route, to say the least. But I saw the A.J. Brown 2v2. This is the 2v2. But you can't tell how A.J. Brown catches it in the end zone because the lady's in front of him. I saw the widescreen version of it, and now I can't find it. This is the one he caught in the beginning. Tough catch, though. I don't know where it is. That's crazy. Let's repost this. Let's see what's going on in the world of the Eagles. I need to see more actual video, though. Stop just doing this. Oh, this is the 2v2? Nope, it's the same one. Oh, no, this is... Dang, he got a little grabby, too. So this is the rep that Q had against number 9. Not sure who number 9 is for the Patriots. But a little grabsy there from Q here for sure. Backs up a little bit. Definitely got the jersey pull. He'll get called for that. He'll get called for that. Since he's the only one talking about, oh my God, I hate to do this. So Quignon with a nice rep versus AJ in 11-on-11s. That's good. No team reps for Mekhi Lemon today. So that sucks. No team reps for Mekhi Lemon today. Quignon Mitchell with a nice rep versus AJ in 11-on-11s, which is more important because that's real football, right? You gotta play with 10 people surrounding you. We do got the Jalen Hurts interception in 11-on-11s. Pass was toward Hollywood Brown in tight coverage. Short over the middle. The ball was deflected up and picked off. First near fight between Eagles defense and Patriots offense. Sheesh, who you think was involved in that? Jalen Hurts touchdown to Goddard over the middle in 11-on-11. Okay. I need some more details, though. Right? You can't just say touchdown. Brandon Lee Gowton said Tanner McKee up first at quarterback 2 with the Patriots today, and Andy Dalton was the guy yesterday. So they continue to flip-flop there. Sucks that Mekhi Lemon won't be on the field for team drills. This is a little bit more explained. Jalen Hurts shakes off an interception that was deflected and then throws a touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert over the middle. Not really explained any different. I feel like yesterday we had so much good footage right away. Everything is the same video. That was nice, though. What's up? Can't front. The defensive fighting, though, between the Eagles and Patriots is interesting to me because, of course, who was the fight about? I'm trying to figure out who was involved on the defense for the Eagles and who was involved on the offense for the Patriots. Jalen, here we got our first. Now we know what happened with Jalen Carter. It's an excused absence for personal reasons. Devontae Smith and Mekhi Lemon remain limited. So the defense loses Jalen Carter due to a personal reason, and the Eagles offense still missing Devontae Smith and Mekhi Lemon in terms of team drills. Tiffany said it was Nolan and the offense. Where'd you see that at? Where you see Nolan Smith got the fight? Jalen Carter. Oh, we just said that. Marcus Jones housed the meatball sub from Jalen Hurts. See again. Look at the difference in terms of reporting. Somebody from the Patriots says Marcus Jones just housed a meatball sub from Jalen Hurts. Thomas R. Peterson said, you mean the deflected pass? Pat fans will say anything. And this is why this beef continues to grow. The beef continues to grow because we just trying to keep it a buck and they are refusing to. A meatball sub is not a deflected pass. I digress. Jalen Hurts did respond off the interception with a touchdown pass. Elliot Shore Park said Jalen Hurts with a really nice design quarterback run up the middle for a big gain. I'll take that. These beat writers are ass. Yeah. Like, yo, all he had to do was say this. Jalen Hurts under center. Like, explain it more. Jalen Hurts in the shotgun. He motions to the right. He runs up between the two tackles. Like, give me a little bit more. Up the middle. Was it between the center and guard? Like, I need a little bit more. I know you're trying to tweet it first. But come on, man. Jalen Hurts responds after the deflected pick. And he responds with a touchdown to Dallas Goedert. Touchdown to Dallas Goedert. Jalix Hunt just ripped the ball out of Ramondre Stevenson's hand for an instant fumble recovery. Lordy, Jalix Hunt. The man was unstoppable yesterday. Got Patriots beat writers or coaching personnel talking about Jalix Hunt is legit. And he follows that up, ripping the ball out of Ramondre Stevenson's hand for an instant fumble recovery. Sheesh. He has potential to be a star this year for sure. But hey, since our guy, Jersey Made Al is here, you could tag me in what you need to tag me in. But look at this. Look what your boy, I don't know if it's your boy or not. He got 15,000. He definitely talks about the Patriots, blah, 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 blah. He tweeted, Marcus Jones just housed a meatball sub from Jalen Hurts. Of course, that is worded to get clicks because it was reported by one of our biggest low-key haters in terms of beat writers. It was reported Jalen Hurts intercepted an 11-on-11. Pass was toward Hollywood Brown in tight coverage, short over the middle, was deflected up and picked off. If the pass is being deflected and then picked off, it ain't a meatball sub pass. But go ahead and let your little 15K Raiders get theirs off. I like to hear this, though, for sure. Jalix Hunt just ripped the ball out of Ramondre Stevenson's hands for an instant fumble recovery. Brandon Lee Gowan said it'd been a chippy atmosphere between the Eagles and Patriots early on, especially Eagles defense versus Patriots offense. Nolan Smith, Jordan Mailata among some of the players jawing at the Pats. Wow, that's interesting. So it's the Eagles defense jawing at the Patriots offense, but Jordan Mailata, who's on the Eagles offense, is drawn too. Interesting. Darius Cooper, tough catch at the point versus Kendall Vildor. Okay. A little something. Ha. DB was right there. That was some good defense. See, in that case, that's what you call good defense, just better offense. Appreciate you, Hertz M, for tagging me. Matt Collins, touchdown versus team's defense in 11-on-11 from a few yards out. Former Eagle Matt Collins. Shout out to my guy who dropped the super chat. Where's that? If I can find it. Shout out to Schoolboy 609215. Shout out to Schoolboy with the $5 super chat. Trenches has been whooping ass. If this was a real game, we blow with multiple sacks on May. No way May gets 5 seconds in the pocket like in these clips. I hear you. And again, I absolutely agree. In terms of a quarterback with zero pass rush, dropping dimes to a receiver versus a DB one-on-one, that is the definition of just let's have some fun. It's the definition of let's just have some fun because it's not football. Honestly, my 11-year-old who's a wide receiver could go up against a 13, 14, 15. He can go up against a high school student and let me be the quarterback for my 11-year-old wide receiver. And I'll give him a route to run. I want you to run this fake like you're running an out route and cut in quickly. Little in route, but just fake it out. And he's going against a 9th grader, and he's in 5th grade. He might get open because I got all the time in the world. Plus, again, these are for the wide receiver. That being said, the way our defensive line played yesterday, the way Jalen Hunt is playing today, let us get Grenard back. And now you have Grenard, Hunt, Smith, Carter, Davis, and Jomo. It's going to be tough. Interior, exterior, outside runs, lanes filled. It's going to be tough to maneuver with this Eagles defensive line coming at you. Then you got blitzes from Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, Jeremiah Trotter. I appreciate you, Schoolboy, and I agree. But because they do this for the fans, they do the one-on-ones to get more warmed up, and they do it for the fans. They do it for the fans. It's fun to see, but it's not real football. Not real football. Let's go see what we got. Ben Chippy, Matt Collins touchdown versus first team defense in 11-on-11. Awesome PBU from Reek Woolen in the end zone. Good to see. Things are getting testy on both sides with some extra stuff after the whistle, pushing and shoving. I'll take that. Jalen Hurts. Oh, they retweeted that. Jalen Hurts several times today with a design run up the middle on the other field. A.J. Brown just scored a touchdown against the Eagles defense. I wish I knew who it was on. After A.J. Brown scored the touchdown in 11-on-11, he hyped up Patriot fans after. He's having an awesome day so far. Here we go. Jalen Hurts with another touchdown over the middle. So that's Jalen Hurts' second touchdown. The first one was to Dallas Goedert. Let's see who the second one is to. Light Bear with a $5 super chat. At the end of the day, Eagles going to have the last laugh. And the last laugh will come throughout the season. This fan base is going to be jawing at us all season long. And we will be jawing back. As we can clearly tell, a deflected interception to some of their fan base is a meatball sub. They don't got their football glasses on. I'll call a spade if it is. I just need them to do the same thing. And if they don't, then I won't. But as my guy Lightbearer just said with the $5 super chat, at the end of the day, the Eagles going to have the last laugh. And this fan base will follow what the Eagles do, and the Eagles will follow what the Patriots do. So, the better season, the further in the playoffs, that will be the official last laugh, for sure. For sure. But I'm loving what I'm hearing about in terms of Jalix Hunt in 2 days already. Can somebody tell me who that touchdown was to? Let's see. On the other field, we've seen Jalen Hurts hit Dallas Goedert and Dontavian Wicks for touchdowns. There was an INT 2 on a deflected pass. Again, that is what I like. Solid reporting. Solid. So Jalen Hurts has 2 touchdowns, both over the middle. One to Dallas Goedert, one to Dontavian Wicks. However, Jalen Hurts does have an INT too, but it was on a pass, of course, intended for Hollywood Brown. We stay throwing picks when we throw the ball to Hollywood Brown. Bollywood, I'm with you, Dr. Jen. But I like that. 2 passes over the middle, right? All this crying about Jalen Hurts refusing to go over the middle and turn when we find out it was all the play calling. 2 passes over the middle today for Jalen Hurts, all resulting in tubs. Oh, we saw that already. Elliot said Lane Johnson involved in a post-snap fight. Lane seemed mad about a tackle to the ground. Lane Johnson is a vested veteran. If he's getting mad, then somebody's doing something wrong. The Almighty said Hollywood should only get targets if wide open. Yeah, no more contested footballs for that man Hollywood. No more contested footballs for that man Hollywood. Big fight though, or late. Look, so we got Nolan and Nolan Smith and Mulata jawing at the team. Lane Johnson involved in a post-snap fight. He seemed mad that he got tackled to the ground late. Eagles basically entire offense versus Patriots entire defense in a post-snap fight. Coaches trying to separate it. Look like Saquon is in the middle of it. It's about to be a what? Yo, that's crazy. Eagles basically entire offense versus the Patriots entire defense. It all probably started with the Lane Johnson. Lord have mercy on our souls. We definitely win the fight round. Fight night goes to the Eagles. I don't care what anybody says. We just throw Uar Bernard on the field and say, get him. Get him. OJS Glove sent me. Good one, Hitman. What Hitman say? That's crazy. Big fight, though. The entire offense versus the entire defense. Coaches is trying to separate it. So far, if we're keeping count, hold up. If we're keeping count, oh, never mind. Things are escalating. We just read that. Romeo Dobbs with a touchdown. He's been very good these 2 days. So 3 touchdowns for the Patriots, 2 for the Eagles in terms of joint practice. Dave Zingaro said this has been a feisty practice today. A few scrums already. The Eagles offense has gotten in. Holy, let me sip this coffee. The Eagles offense has gotten into it with the Pats defense. Nick Sirianni got in there the last time to help break it up. We've seen Lane Johnson and Saquon Barkley involved. Sheesh. Elliot Shore said Reek Woolen with an awesome interception. Pass was from Drake May to A.J. Brown in front of the end zone. Woolen jumped it perfectly and ran it all the way back with the ball in the air, high stepping. Pick 6. Okay. It's time to fight fire with fire. Time to fight fire with fire. Time to fight fire with fire. We're not going to quote tweet it, but we're going to fight fire with fire. Pick 6 as he high steps all the way to the end zone. Pass was duckish. We gonna fight fire with fire, you heard? On some crazy now, of course, when we talk about it amongst us, we won't count at that. But there you go, Reek Woolen. Oh shit. As soon as I said that, Lord have mercy on her soul. Let's see how everybody else talks about it. Reek Woolen just intercepted Drake May in the end zone on an attempt to A.J. Brown. Nice job stepping right in front of A.J. Reek ran it back to the end zone and did snow angels on the grass. That's a pick 6. That's a pick 6. But Jalen Hurts was just intercepted for a second time today after 3 interceptions yesterday. Okay, John. Okay, John. Thanks for the update. Can we get how it was intercepted? Elliot Shore said Hurts with his second interception of the day. Pass to Wicks is jumped by the defender at the front of the end zone and picked off. Ref ruled it an interception. So I guess it was close to not being caught, but the ref ruled an interception. So here we go. 3 touchdowns for the Patriots in joint practice thus far. 2 for the Eagles. 2 interceptions for Jalen Hurts. 1 interception for Drake May. That shit was duckish. 3 goal with an interception on Drake May to A.J. Brown. Pick 6 as he high steps all the way to the end zone. Pass was duckish. Lord have mercy. I like it. I like it. It is what it is at this point. Got to fight fire with fire. According to Elliot Shore he said one thing that is definitely true today. The Eagles showed up in a hostile environment and are matching the moment emotionally. They are ready to fight. Can't get mad at that. Remember, they the home crowd. They the home crowd. Let's read some of these comments. I've been reading too much on Twitter. I need to hear what y'all saying. Lightbearer said throwing loaded chili cheese dogs. Chili cheese dogs. Air VMB said as a Cowboy fan, must hurt looking at 2 winning franchise. I didn't know Air VMB was a Cowboys fan tuning in. Shout out to you, bro. It's going to be fun season regardless. Street said Eagles don't care about winning. Jalen said it's about the process. I felt that It's the mode. He did say that. And, Jalen Hurts takes things. Jalen Hurts looks at things differently than anybody in the league. Oh, shout out to Airbnb. You're not a Cowboys fan. He said, as a Cowboy fan, so there might be a Cowboy fan in here watching the Eagles and the Patriots talk ball when we are winning franchises. My bad. Maria Langston said, why nobody posting the fight? Oh, listen. So there's a guy that I'm following now that said he was going back. He went yesterday. Again, I got all these clips right here. I got all these clips from day one. Look at the Eagles' rushing attack. Nobody showed these clips. Nobody showed these clips of the Eagles' rushing attack yesterday, but at the Eagles Weekly on Twitter did. These are big 15-yard runs with monster holes opening. Pause. So again, the run game was really good yesterday, and that's why the Eagles offense still fought back. It wasn't like doomsday with the interceptions because they were all in 7-on-7s. This is 11-on-11. I like the run game. He said he's going to post the clips from today, so we will get it. It won't come out while we're live because he didn't post yesterday till about 6 o'clock. So he probably got home, settled down, and posted the clips he had. But if he posted clips today of the fight, of the interceptions, of the touchdowns, we will have that all for you in tomorrow morning's video. But a lot of big time runs from the Eagles yesterday. Simple and plain. Let's get back to what's going on today. Ryan said A.J. Brown is undefeated and out of bounds catches. He stayed playing that sideline. Let's see what we got going on. Red zone drills today. Eagles' first offense with some struggles in the first period. Condensed area, but a couple Jalen Hurts INTs. Although Milton Williams would have had a likely sack on one. Hurts did toss a couple touchdowns to Dallas Goedert and Tay Wicks when given time. Still too many unblocked pressures. So the offensive line is looking fantastic via the run blocking, but the pass blocking has left some to desire better, if I even said that right. But this is Jeff McClain summarizing what's transpired already. This is not nothing new that we ain't already know. Where we at? We know that A.J. Brown has been eating Quinyon Mitchell's lunch. Wide receiver caught a contested ball thrown behind him from May for a Pats touchdown. Now, we already heard A.J. had a touchdown. Is this just them describing how the touchdown was? That's what I don't like. Or is it another touchdown on top of it? If it was another touchdown, there'll be more people tweeting about it. So I guess the A.J. Brown's touchdown that he did get, which still makes 3 for the Patriots, was versus Quinyon Mitchell. And the pass was duckish as it was behind him. Stowers scored? Where you get that? Where we get that at? Where'd we get the Eli Stowers? Show me who said Eli Stowers scored. Let me know. Jalen threw 2 interceptions today. Drake May threw 1, but Drake Mays was a pick 6 to Reek Woolen. I'm not okay. Philly 500 said it, but who is he checking from? Because he must have heard it from somebody on Twitter. I mean, I didn't see Brandon Lee Gowan, Jeff McClain, John Clark, Dave Zangaro, maybe Brooks. Let's see if he said anything. Nope, not that I see. I don't see it. The 2 touchdowns that I heard Jalen Hurts threw were to Dallas Goedert and Dontavian Wicks. That's what at least reported. Hugh getting cooked right now, says my boy Mir Slime. He is. But it happens to the best. It happens to the best. No cornerback ever played football for a season and not got cooked. Here's the easy touchdown. Oh, this is still on 2v2. Again, this is a better look at it, but this is not an 11 on 11s. This is not even 7 on a 7. This is literally back in the beginning period, but instead of 1-on-1, they did 2-on-2. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch. Quinyon got to get there sooner, but the motion that AJ Gut does definitely affects it. Shout out to them. But I ain't going to really cry over 1-on-1s and 2-on-2s. But this is what we saw earlier in the day, but better angle. Definitely a better angle. Let me know who said what they said. If you know, you know. Quinyon Mitchell with a pick, says Schoolboy. Shout out to Schoolboy with a $2 super chat. Says Quinyon Mitchell with the interception. Let's go to EJ Smith's page. EJ Smith. Why am I not getting his updates? Do I have his on? All right. I follow him. I just didn't have his notifications on, I guess. When did he say it? It said a few notes from Eagles offense so far working red zone drills. It's been tough sledding for most part. 2 picks for Hurts, 1 targeting Devontae Wicks on a speed out, and the other one to Hollywood Brown on an underneath route over the middle. That one was tipped. Hurts found Eli Stowers and Wicks for touchdown completions. Things are getting chippy. Lane Johnson took exception to a New England defender tackling him. Saquon Barkley tackling Saquon Barkley to the ground. There was a bigger skirmish a few plays later between the guys. Here's the thing. This is how, again, and because of this, we got to do our due diligence. Hey, Schoolboy, you don't have to super chat, but let me know let me know where you saw Quinyon get the pick 6, because from what I'm understanding, it was Reek Woolen with the pick 6. But shout out to you for the super chat, and let me know where you got it. So here's the thing I'm going to say. This is our job as consumers, is to figure out who's right. So EJ Smith said he found Eli Stowers and Wicks for touchdowns. But if we go to, let's just say we go to, let's start with him, even though I know we all hate him. Touchdown to Wicks, but the other touchdown was reportedly to Dallas Goedert. Let's check another beat reporter. John Clark. John Clark said that the touchdown was to Dallas Goedert. Brandon Lee Gowton said that the touchdown was to where is it? I probably passed it. Let's see what he said. Ben Chippy, Rick Woolen, touchdown. AJ Brown, Eaton Quinyon. He didn't say about the touchdown. He didn't say nothing about the touchdown. So again, it's tough to say. You got 2 people saying Dallas Goedert. You got 1 person saying Eli Stowers. It's tough. Wow. Eagles starting offense and New England Patriots defense need to be separated again. Another fight between the Eagles offense and Patriots defense has easily been 4 or 5 fights today so far. Sheesh. That's crazy. I understand being chippy. I understand not liking each other, but 4 or 5 fights? Free said, I hate inaccurate reporting. Me too. You know what I'm saying? We're basing our stuff off this. But don't worry. We got a guy now who's an Eagle fan at training camp. I'm following it on Twitter. He's following me. And he's going to post a lot of clips. All these clips that I had right here of run plays that nobody saw, because a fan has to post it. Nobody from the Eagles media is going to post it. All these crazy run plays. Saquon, 15 yards. Shipley, 15 yards. Saquon, a 45-yard scamper, were posted by him. Now, he did post some Jalen Hurts interceptions too and all that. I showed you in the beginning, and I will talk about it in a future video. But these runs are crazy, and I'm hoping around 5:30, 6 o'clock, when he gets settled in from the practice, he posts these again. And we'll see some of the fights. We'll see some of the interceptions. We'll see a bunch of things in terms of who's right on the reporting. Was it a bad interception? Was it a tipped interception? Was it this, that, and the third? Because shout out to y'all for keeping me honest, but you got E.J. Smith saying the touchdowns from Hurts were Wicks and Stowers, and you got 2 other beat writers saying Wicks and Goddard. Shout out to Carlos Rosado with the $5 super chat. Mike, roots. We need them roots. I saw LB live, and lots of those completions yesterday would have been sacked anyway. Can't wait till the start of the season. I'm glad we got football. Yeah, I dropped a video. I literally dropped a video later after my live stream. Go check. If you didn't check out the video I dropped at 6:30, it had more of the stuff that I was talking about too. And yes, not only did we see some that would have been sacked, Carlos, we saw some that would have been ruled out. Simple and plain. So this has been a very, very chippy practice. Let's see what happens. Tank Bigsby with a long run with the first team offense, but it's called back because of a hold. Sheesh. Another long run. We just saw some long runs that I showed you. Another long run for Tank Bigsby in the offense, but a call. I would like to know who held. See, come on. I need them details. We need them details. Who held? Now the Eagles are posting that cut from Dontavian Wicks. And the way he gets off the line of scrimmage is crazy. But can we see him do something in 11 on 11s? I mean, he got a tub today, I guess. Let's see. Eagles Nest said 88 definitely caught it. I would think so too. King of the Jungle said, I just said Stowers scored because I read it on Dude's page and I was happy for him. Hey, and again, that's why I'm not saying you're wrong. You can only go off by a reporter's notes, and it's the reporter's job to be right. And honestly, if we're keeping it 100, Dallas Goedert got 10 actual real touchdowns in the regular season. So I'm hoping that when it all comes out and people write their articles and we get the videos after this, that it is Eli Stowers. That's a great confident builder. Joe said, Sam hating on the Pats is cool, not bashing a Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback. That's just a little advice. All about 11 on 11, said Mike Larry. That's the truth. That's what matters the most. 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, 7-on-7s. 1-on-1s and 2-on-2s are only for the public. 7-on-7s, yeah, you got some stuff you could work on, but it's the 11-on-11s. That's what football is. Can we get some updates, man? What are y'all doing? Y'all taking y'all time updating us today. Today has been a low-key blah day. Bro, we've had more fights. We've had more fights than like actual plays documented from both sides. Saw the clip on Twitter. Can you tag me in it? Eagles Nest, tag me in it, please. Anybody who sees a clip or something on Twitter, good, bad, ugly, sad, just tag me in it and we will pull it up. Rye said 1-on-1 and 2-on-2s only count when Pats win those reps. Then we're getting cooked. Facts. Philly beat writers are such bums, man. Yeah, it's rough out here. Almighty said, are they on a break or something? That's what I'm saying. It was like play. And now it's like, yeah, honestly, maybe they are on a break with all these fights. Let's see. What are we doing? Nothing. Bro. Last thing we heard was Tank Bigsby had a long run with the first team and it's called back because of a hold. But here's the thing. If Bigsby had a run and it was called back from a hold, it would be second and blah, blah, blah. Where's that next play? See, this just doesn't make sense at times. Right? Big run up the middle, called back on a hold. Okay, well, where's the next play? Is it halftime? Is it a break time? Is it cookie time? Maybe they fighting now. Oh, yeah, it's fight time. Lightning Bearer said they on a timeout. Timeout. How many timeouts they got left? 2, 1? Was it a 30-second? It's a minute, a 60-second timeout? It's situational practice, which is true. This is also why it is hard to determine who wins because you don't know what situations the Eagles are working on versus the Patriots are working on. They could be working on similar ones. They could be working on different ones. At the end of the day, though, situationally or not, these are grown men. They should be able to set up like this. They should be able to set up like this. Saquon Barkley is really upset about something, and the coaches are talking to him and calming him down. There were a bunch of things happening after the whistle with the Eagles starting offense and the Patriots starting defense. Sheesh. Lane Johnson was upset. Nolan Smith was upset. Jordan Mailata was upset. And now Saquon, they used the word really upset and needing to be talked down by the coaches. What do we got going on? So y'all were right, though. After that Tank Bigsby long run, I'm guessing there was a big skirmish, and now Saquon Barkley's upset with that. That would mean number 5, the 5th skirmish, fight, whatever you want to call it, of practice. They probably playing dirty. I ain't going front, Jay. You might be right, Jay. You might be right. Carlos said if mistakes are going to happen, practice is where they should happen as you continue to work on improving whatever you have to improve on. That is absolutely factual. But in today's world with social media and trying to get clicks, this, that, and the third, nobody's allowed to make a mistake. But I'm with you, bro. At the end of the day, the team and the fan base that has the last laugh will be the team that goes further in the 2026 season. This will all be forgotten after week 1. If one team is 1-0 and the other team is 0-1, it will be forgotten. If they're both 0-1, it will be forgotten. If they're both 1-1, it will be forgotten. But we can tell by the pettiness of these fan base, at least some of the ones I've seen on Twitter, that we gonna be talking about this for the entirety of the season. Look at us. We got better record than you, Eagles. Bro, we got the same record, but we got a bye week yet. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna say anything to say something, so we just gotta stand on our 10 toes and take care of business. 10 toes and take care of business. Joe said, I love the brawls. I can't wait for our guy who's at the practice to go ahead and okay, we got some. Okay, Halen, he is posting stuff. Shout out to Halen Hurts. What the? All right, let's see this. So this is the guy who posted yesterday. Hurts picked by Marcus Jones in 11 versus 11. Jones jumped the flat route. Hurts recovers really nicely and audibles on the next drive to find Goddard for around 15 yards. Let's watch one-on-one. Here we go. This is probably the pick first. Hurts in the shotgun this time. Going to motion Barkley to the right. Hurts looking, stepping up, firing. He kind of moved the camera on the pick, but you clearly see it was tipped. Hurts looking, firing, ball in the air. All right. Still was not the greatest ball thrown because Hollywood is not that receiver who's going to jump that route. So it was tipped by Hollywood's defender, and it fell into the hands of 26. All right. Let's look at the other one. This is, I guess, him coming back next drive with a 15-yard strike to Dallas Goedert, 88. Goddard in motion. Hurts touching his helmet, changing up the play. Hurts takes a snap, looking back to his left, fires, caught Dallas Goedert, and he slams it on the goalpost. Once again, we got to shout out to this guy at the Eagles Weekly. Again, shout out to him. If he posts anything else, we're gonna look at it. Yesterday he was posting clips after he got home. Oh, we should have just been following him the whole time. Hurts picked again. Bad angle of it here. So this is gonna be a bad angle. Saquon with a 3-yard run, left tackle skirmish afterwards. Okay, let's see. We got some stuff. We got some stuff to talk about. Let's see a little skirmish. A 3-yard run, and then a little skirmish. Here we go. Hurts in the shotgun this time. Barkley to his right. They're going to hand it to Barkley. Goes up the middle for 3. And, okay, Lane. That was Lane Johnson not having the extra jersey pull. Lane not with the extra jersey pull, you heard? He wasn't messing around with it. Wasn't messing around with the early jersey pull. But look, he has a bunch of write-ups here that we got to check. I'm just going to tag all these. That was that one. But look at this. So we didn't even hear about this one. Look. Seeing awesome things in Mannion's scheme, ton of misdirection. Leaves Dallas wide open in the flat with yards after the catch. Eagles' bad running plays are getting 4 to 5 on first down. Holes look more plugged than yesterday, but Shipley and Barkley look lively. McKee picked. Pats with another takeaway on the other field. Tommy DeVito throws a beautiful 40-yard bomb to, I believe, Kyle Williams. Could be wrong on the receiver. Again, so I guess they got the starters on one field and the backups on the other. So far, my standout players are most likely tight ends. E.J. Jenkins, Stone, Smart have made big plays. Goddard with a touchdown and a couple of big catches. Stowers is struggling today. Hopefully he bounces back. Brenton Covey looks good on kickoff duty. Had a 40-yard cut and weave in return. Hey, he the guy. He the one to follow. He the one. Jalix Hunt picks off a pass after May tries the quick slant at A.J. Brown with Reek Woolen in coverage. One of them deflected balls into the air, and Hunt made a diving catch. Nice play. Let's go. That is big time. So this is now the second interception. The second interception. We gotta have to make another joke about it. It's joke time. They want to joke on us. We gotta joke back on them. Let me just drop this real quick. Jalix Hunt picks off pass to A.J. Brown. Drake May getting picked by D ends. Let's go. I like that though. Let's see what y'all been talking about in the chat. Yo, Hunt is one of them dogs. Pay Hunt, says Dr. Jen. Hunt is one of them dogs. That's the bad angle play, but let's see how everybody else worded it. Eagles get a touchdown on biggest drive of the day. Hurts goes 3 of 4 and finishes the drive with a really nice touchdown to Hollywood Brown in the back of the end zone. Okay, so, hey, that last skirmish got the Eagles going. First play of the late practice scrimmage today is a Jalix Hunt interception off a dropped pass by AJ. Okay, let me hear it that way. See, drop pass by A.J. Brown turns into an interception for Jalix Hunt. Let's see what Brandon Lee Gowton had to say. Again, they're all a little different. Looked like Reek Woolen got a hand in to rip the ball out of A.J. Brown's control right after the catch, and Jalix Hunt made a diving effort for an Eagles interception. Wow. This one is totally different from all the other ones being talked about. Reek Woolen pulls the ball out of A.J. Brown's hand to a diving Jalix Hunt. Martin Frank says Jalix Hunt picks off a pass after May tries the quick. That's the one I took. Jalen Hurts did a nice job of scrambling and found Hollywood Brown in the back of the end zone, who tried to get both feet down but was ruled out of bounds. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. We not listening to John Clark. It's like, nah, let me stop. Let me stop. Lord. Where was the touchdown play that was said? So I guess Elliot Shore Parks deleted it because he was ruled out of bounds. Damn you, Hollywood. You're causing interceptions. You can't get your feet in bounds. Well, he still got it up again. Eagles get a touchdown on the biggest drive of the day. Hurts goes 3 of 4 and finishes the drive with a really nice TD to Hollywood Brown in the back of the end zone. According to John Clark, it wasn't caught, though. Is he smoking? Lordy, lordy. All right, Hollywood, out there, out the doghouse for now. Never mind. Hey, look, one Eagle person said it was a tub. The other one said no. We're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully our guy at the Eagles Weekly has that clip, because he posted some already, but I guarantee you he's going to post all of it. Rob Carr said, is there a video of the TD? There's a video of Dallas Goedert catching a touchdown on 15-yard pass, but hopefully we get the possible touchdown to Hollywood Brown later on. Again, make sure you got the notification bell hit, so when I drop the video later today, or actually my video might come tomorrow morning because I'm going to scavenge the internet for all the clips that we can get. So again, turn on the notification bell so when I drop my video, whether it's at 3 o'clock later today, 6 o'clock at night, or 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, you know it's there. Also, we got almost 700 people watching. Can we please get the like button hit? It's free, it's easy, it don't cost a thing, and it's greatly appreciated. The like button goes far for the channel. It does a lot. What do you say? 803 Hitman said Caden Steele reports. All right, let's get it. What do you say? As I said this, Romeo Doubs beat Woolen in the inside for a touchdown in the back of the end zone. Eagles offense wins against Pat defense. Hollywood Brown beats Kendall Vildor for a touchdown. Then Darius Cooper hauls in down a 2-point conversion over. Okay, that settles it. It was a touchdown. John Clark is a hater. Why would they do a 2-point conversion if he didn't get his 2 feet in? Come on, John Clark. You got to be better than that. Why would they do a 2-point conversion if they didn't get their 2 feet in? If somebody tagged me into a fight, please tag me again. I didn't see it come up. Please tag me again. I did see someone say that. This is the guy who dropped all the videos of yesterday's practice around 6:30. Now, he does have some video. That's from yesterday, but he does have some video of today, 4 minutes ago. Check this out. Responding to the Mays pick, Hurts goes right down the field and throws a dart over the middle to Hollywood Brown for a touchdown. We got the video. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Breaking news. We got the vid. Let's watch it together. This is in response of the Jalix Hunt interception. Drake May's second. Hurts dropping back, looking, has time, fires, and is caught. Back in the end zone. Touchdown, I see. The referee put his hands up. John Clark was capping. Look at this. Nice little play. I wish we could have, again, it's hard with the camera, right? You got to zoom in and got to go get everything. But Jalen Hurts has time, and he drops it in the back. Good coverage, just better offense. Hollywood Brown officially out of the doghouse. We got the play, man. Drake May going to throw a bunch of interceptions when AJ demands 20 targets a game. All I know is they were clowning us. Drake May got 2 picks today, both targeting AJ Brown. That is interesting. Very interesting. Drake May, I should have called him Drake Maybe, has 2 INTs today. Both when targeting Or should I say, hold on, forcing it to A.J. Brown. I'm just saying, dog. Don't kill the messenger. Reek. Hold on, guys. Keep looking at this play, though. Reek Woolen with one. I can't spell. And Jay Woolen and Hunt. I can't type. My hands are freezing from my AC. Hunt got them for the Eagles. Thank you. But there it is 100% confirmed via the zebra. The zebra said it's a touchdown. And I like this because it's in response of the interception. So things were spiraling a little bit for the Eagles offense, and a defensive interception sparks up a nice comeback. And again, I want to reiterate, no Devontae Smith. Hurts was 3 or 4 on this drive. I wish our guy at the Eagles Weekly would have showed us how we got down here. What were the other 2 completions? But this was the N1 in the end zone to Hollywood Brown. So maybe he gets out of the doghouse a little bit for some of us. Ain't AJ his number 1? It is. It is. And he's going to get the most targets on the team. I'm just having a little fun. Again, I'm going to tell y'all straight up. I still think AJ Brown is a good player. You know, I did lose a little respect on how things ended. However, I love the time he spent in Philadelphia. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I gotta have a little fun. When Pat fans are capping on our guy, we got a low-key cap on their guy. You know what I mean? Drake May has 2 interceptions today. Both went targeting, or should I say, forcing it to A.J. Brown. Woolen and Hunt got them for the Eagles. It's just all fun. If they can't handle the heat, they got to get out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I know who our guys are. Reek Woolen forcing 2 interceptions, had a phenomenal day. Yes, because according to some people, the Jalix Hunt interception, the diving interception, was forced by Reek Woolen. We going to hear anything more about camp? Let's see if let's see. Let's see if he got anything to say. Second team can't get into the end zone. PBU on 4th and goal. Look at this. So one of the plays was Drake May goes deep. Woolen is draped all over the receiver. Incomplete. Man, one of these times I'm going to have, I should have bought the plane ticket and flew my ass to Boston. You know what I'm saying? Should have flew my ass to Boston. This is nice, though. This is nice. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. Trey in the building said, Peeps, I got the Seahawks winning on Wednesday when they face the Patriots. They play on Wednesday? Or are you talking about regular season stuff? Skit said AJ is a talented player. Good players don't quit on their teams. I can't hate. Rye said Adoree versus Reek Woolen, not even close. When this secondary puts it together, it's official. The no-fly zone. Greg said Pat's losing week 1, and we definitely getting this dub over the Commanders. We gonna see. Let him speak now. 3 touchdowns for the Eagles, 3 touchdowns for the Patriots in this joint practice. 3-3. Also, 2 interceptions for Hurts, 2 interceptions for Drake May. They're not going to talk about it, though, are they? Are they? Let me just double check I didn't mess anything up. Let's see if I can zoom in a little. Can I? Okay. It's a little uglier. It's a little uglier, but it's closer. It's closer. Hurts dropping back, looking, time, firing, call. Zebra, put the hands up. Actually, not almost 5 fights. It was literally like 5 fights today. ENI said, once this team is clicking, sheesh. I like it. Almighty said, Pats almost fumbled, lost, don't forget that. Yeah. So 3 turnovers for the Pats. 2 interceptions from Drake May and a Ramondre Stevenson fumble as Jalix Hunt stripped it. Jalix Hunt forcing 2 turnovers this game. Shout out to Hunt. He always hunting. Let them dogs out. I love it. K Peep said, yeah, that's true. They got everyone healthy. We are missing Smitty, Lemon, Grenard, and Carter. Well, no, they don't have Gonzo. But still, we're missing way more, especially on the offensive side. And that is what people are trying to poo-poo on us. Our offense. Bro, we're missing Smitty. Smitty's a dog. Almighty Lambo with the $5 super chat. Hey, shout out to everybody who is dropping super chats and showing love to the channel. But more importantly, as much as I love a super chat, as much as I love a comment, or even a free comment, the like button goes a long way for the channel. So if you could do me that honor and hit the like button, we got about 730 people in the building. This was the 3rd touchdown of the day. Hurts to Hollywood. We got only 372 likes. There's 719 in the building. If half of y'all hit the like button, we're past 500. If half of the people in here hit the like button, we're past 500. Once again, shout out to Almighty with the $5 super chat. Hunt has forced a fumble with the recovery and a pick today. Don't forget, we're missing JC. Facts. This Eagles defense has 3 turnovers without Jalen Carter. Without Jonathan Grenard. Now, granted, Grenard can hurt us. Well, not really, because when Grenard's on the field, I think we're going to see more Grenard and Hunt than Grenard Nolan. But it's good to have a fresh body in rotation. When I look at this Eagles defense, it has the makings to be legit on all 3 levels. Secondary, linebacking. Shoot, we got 3 solid linebackers. Secondary, linebacking, and as good as the secondary is, as good as the linebackers are, just think about this. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Reek Woolen, and Makuba and Epps. That might not even be our best position. Zach Bond and Campbell or Trotter, that might not be our best position. That D-line is still probably going to be the focal point of this defense. Hold on, my cat got in here. Let me let the cat out. Watch out. Get out. Once again, shout out to Almighty. And shout out to Hunt because he got the diving interception, which is lovely because we see him as a ball hawk too. He's a defensive end. He's just a football player, a freak of nature. He led the Eagles last year in interceptions and sacks. And so far this year, there's no reason why he can't do that shit again, even higher though. He's going to be a double-digit sack contender. But not only did he force the fumble, it is very hard in this league to make a grown man fumble. But he made the fumble happen and recovered it. That's just freakish. Make the fumble happen and recover it instantly. And he got a pick. while missing Jalen Carter. Shout out to the Almighty for always dropping dimes, dropping good stuff in the chat. I appreciate you. Schoolboy with a $2 super chat said, check Zach Berman for the 3 or 4 hurt sequence. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what Zach Berman said for the 3 or 4 hurt sequences. Back up real quick. Zach. Let's look at these 3 or 4 sequences from Zach. Okay, best sequence of the week for the Eagles just now. Late game situation. Starting at the New England's 25-yard line. Defense forced a turnover. Reek Woolen tips a pass to A.J. Brown. Jalix Hunt makes the diving interception. Offense takes over. Scores on 4 plays. Hurts to Goddard. Hurts to Wick. Hurts to Hollywood Brown out of bounds. And then hurts to Brown for a touchdown. So honestly, John Clark wasn't capping. I thought he was just capping. John Clark wasn't. The first pass to Hollywood Brown was out of bounds, but he went right back to him. That's tough. Jalen Hurts, bro, I give him so much credit. After my 3rd interception in training camp to Hollywood Brown, I would have been scared to throw that man the ball. He threw a pick today that was to Hollywood Brown. Then Hollywood Brown catches the ball out of bounds, and he still goes back to him for a tub, and it was a tough catch, a tough window. Hurts fitted in there. Now, he had a great pocket, but he fitted in there. Encouraging sequence for both sides, and that is football. That's what you don't get in training camp. The Eagles offense can look bad for a quarter, for a couple series, but let the defense get a big time play. And then the momentum jumps on the Eagles side and we go do some shit. That is football. We've seen it time and time again. A team can't score the whole half. The score is like 10-0. But then in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter, before it becomes halftime, they go down the field and score. Then they come out in the second half with momentum and put up more points and points and points. I love the way Zach Berman broke it down. Absolutely. Defense forced a big turnover. Offense takes over and scores on 4 plays. Hurts to Goddard, hurts to Wicks, hurts to Brown out of bounds, and then he finishes to Brown for a touchdown. Shout out Schoolboy for getting the exact drive series. King said, wait till Smitty and Lemon come back. I can't wait. But for those just tuning in, this was the actual play. This was the actual play. This was the 4th down play. This was the big play from Hurts to Brown for the tub. Best play of the day. And it's in response. So I love it. I love it even more. Touchdown. Put them hands up, Zebra. Didn't Lemon suit up today? Yes. But the same way Lemon suited up today is like what happened yesterday with Smitty. Smitty suited up yesterday. Lemon didn't. Smitty did individual drills. Lemon did individual drills too, but neither of them did team drills. Today, Smitty suited up. Lemon suited up, but they only did individual drills. No team drills. Goddard speaking right now.
Get the process worked out. How
and I think it worked.
Dallas, what's your evaluation of the 2 days of joint practices?
I think they were good. I think we got a lot of good work. We'll watch the film of what happened today, but yesterday, we had some really good plays. We had some really explosive plays. We made a few mistakes that we got cleaned up.
Real quick, 25 more likes and we get over 500. Do we got 25 MVPs in here that can get me over 500? And also read that comment on the screen because he ain't lying. I need you to turn on notification gang to join the squad. We live for play-by-plays too. We'll be live Saturday for the Patriots, but more importantly, we'll be live for the regular season every single game.
And, we'll go back and try to learn from what we did today, but I think it was 2 great days of work.
What do you like about that portion of this offense when you get in that tight space?
Yeah. Anytime you get a chance to catch the ball, you want to go and make plays. Had a couple opportunities today. I think I did a good job on them. But yeah, you get options down there, and I think it's going to be really good for us. We got a few new things in the red zone that's different from the past, and I think that can be beneficial for all of us down there. Yeah, I think we're doing really good. It's a great way to learn. In camp, we're doing walkthroughs, we're doing practice. It takes a true professional. They point something out that happened to somebody else, and you got to learn from it. You can't make the same mistake somebody else did. And I think we've been improving each and every day. And I think as a whole, everybody's getting a really good grasp of the offense, and we're figuring it out.
There are practices where they'll try to create pressure with the play clock to get the process worked out. How do you feel that's going, and specifically whenever they are kind of pressuring you specifically?
Yeah, I think in practice, there might be a 35 shot clock instead of a 40 shot clock, and that's 5 more seconds. We got to get the ball snapped quicker. So it's just stressing our operation in and out of the huddle, getting to the line of scrimmage, being able to make the checks and get plays off.
I like that. Practicing with a 35-second clock over a 40, because one thing we did last year was we always let the clock run down. So we're practicing with 5 less seconds. It's only going to speed up the operation, as Goddard said. I like that.
Off in time. The more we can get to the line, let Jalen see the defense, undress the defense, use motion to our advantage. That's going to help us a lot in the long run. So trying to make everything harder than it has to be at practice, just so when game times come, it feels easy. Yeah, there was the one in the red zone. I was running shallow across the field, and the linebacker came and kind of checked me. Same thing, Saquon was going out the other side, and they were warning me for a pick play. And, I was just discussing how that's my fault compared to defense being allowed to jam us at that, and just how they see it. Because, it's not a pick play, even. It's not even a rub like some of them that we have are. So I was just trying to get clarification on that. Hi, Nolan.
In the final period yesterday, the offensive players weren't happy with how that went. And then today you guys responded with that big touchdown drive there. Was that a point of emphasis, and what clicked on that final drive?
They asked about the response today at the last drive compared to yesterday. But I also want to mention this. The Eagles had 3 touchdowns today, and it was a different person each time. One went to Goddard, one went to Wicks, one went to Hollywood. Smitty is going to be the de facto uno pass catcher. But as Almighty pointed out, these systems are tight end heavy, yak, space, especially in the red zone for Tubbs. He will be utilized a lot more than people think. It's important for us to get Stowers up too, if he could make at that ability too. Smitty de facto uno, but it just goes to show again, 3 different pass catchers caught touchdowns. I love it. But this is what they were feeling, the pressure the last drive.
No, I don't think it was necessarily a point of emphasis. Obviously, we watched the tape and we needed to improve on that 2-minute. The defense gave us some looks that probably we weren't ready for. We weren't sure what they were going to bring in the 2 minutes. So we don't have our full playbook. We were just trying to get to some plays, and we were close on a couple completions that could have helped drives alive. But I don't think it was an emphasis. I think every time we go out, no matter the period, we want to put a good rack together. If we ever get a chance like today to end the game with a touchdown, we got the 2-point conversion as well. So little things like that are always important, but I don't think we put extra stress on winning a period like that. We expect to go out and compete every period. Anytime you get 2 minutes, when you get a completion on the first play, it kind of gets going. And then we had some receivers make some really great plays, which then when it comes down to that in the red zone, things like that, coverage gets sticky. You got to make plays, and a few people were able to do that today.
From Boston, you guys have a new offensive coordinator this year. That's nothing new for you, obviously, in your time here. How different is this experience, though, where it seems the scheme maybe is a little bit different from what you guys are used to?
Yeah, it was the first time in 5 years, learning new formations, new names for concepts. Took a little bit more studying, but we get the benefit of being here all day. Like I said, we get to go through them in practice. We get to go through them, walk through, watch them in meetings, install them. So the first time you hear them, it takes a little bit, but now it's almost coming second nature, So the more you do it, the easier it gets. Yeah, I think he's been making steps and strides each day. He had a big play yesterday, which was exciting to see. It's just your rookie year. Everything gets thrown at you fast. Defenses are different than they were in college, so it's really good to see how he's progressing. And you always want to see improvements, and he's been doing that.
What do you like about Coach Mannion's scheme and playing for him so far?
Yeah, I think he's a great dude. He does a good job commanding, and he's got great ideas of what he wants to do. He sticks to what he wants, and we got to find a way to make it work. But no, I think he's been doing a great job of just staying cool, collected, talking through stuff with us, and we're all getting on the same page and excited to see where he takes us.
There you go, Goddard. Let's see if we got any more.
I think
Jordan Davis.
How are we doing today?
Good. Jordan, what did you make of the last 2 days, and how do you think things went?
Missed my bed, but I think today and yesterday was really productive. Obviously, joint practices are joint practices. You get lots of great looks from an opposing team, and I'm sure we got better. They got better, and I think that's it. We look forward to it every year. We go through camp and we putting our hands on each other, and we really don't like that as much as it's cracked out to be. But going against another team, it gives you an opportunity to see different situations, see different scenarios, different schemes, and I think that was just the exciting part about that.
This dive.
I mean, Jaylus is a ball hawk. He played safety in college, so that's to be expected of him. But I mean, shoot, you got to make plays when the plays are needed. And that was in a 2-minute situation. We loved that. We got off the field, but we had to go back out, unfortunately, because the drive was too short. We couldn't coach off that. But, that's Jaylus, man. Jaylus is going to do his thing.
You've seen him now all summer. It seems like he's ready to take a big
Jaylus dog.
I'm a big advocate for players on the line, especially having a little bit time to mature and grow into this league. It's very rare that you have a person that comes right out of the box ready and playing. And, I can attest to that myself. And, just seeing Jaylus go through his progressions from year 1, year 2, year 3. Like year 1, nobody was talking about Jaylus. Nobody was knowing him. In year 2, he kind of molded into his shell, and now he's growing into a player that, we all know he's capable of. And just to see him go out there and ball out and not also be a force in, coverage, but be a force in a rush too. And it's, it's like a Swiss Army knife, and you love to have players like that.
Why the line especially?
I'm sorry?
Why the line especially?
It's hard, man. You go against guys that have years got skin in the game, and you coming in from college, you haven't seen a lot of stuff like that. And it's just kind of you just have to kind of grow into it. It's a thing that, you kind of grow into it with the technique, with the right coaches. It can really transform your game from 0 to hero. So.
Jordan, how much pride do you take in the run defense you got shown in the last 2 days?
Tremendous. And it's not just me, it's from everybody. That's the standard that we hang our hat on, as we expected to do. Starts down from our coaches, Coach Vic, Coach Hurts, and it trickles down to us. So, if you start to run, you get to have some fun, and that's the mantra that we all live by. And, you have to stop the run. That's pretty much, I know it's a pass league, but if you look at the numbers, it's still a dominant run.
What do you make of him, and what's he like as a defensive tackle?
I like Zach, and his story is really cool. And, just going through this camp with him and just seeing him go through the rookie process, it was one of those things that kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people because he wasn't drafted. He wasn't, he kind of signed late in the game, but seeing him go and seeing him get coached up by Coach Clint, I think, when Coach Clint gets his hands on you and he gets a chance to coach you up, you're bound to get better. And seeing him progress and get better and seeing him go through the drills, and, I'm excited to see him go against the ones because believe that they're playing their ones for a series or two. So, just to see that and see his progression, that's all we can ask for. Yes, I faced Willie. Love Willie. I call him a bowling ball of knives because he's so short, he's so small, he's so stubby, but he is so quick and powerful and precise with his hands that it's really, for a taller guy like me, it gives me a lot of trouble, it gives me a lot of fits. And, that's kind of one of the things that kind of keep me up at night with Willie. But he's a tremendous player. He has a certain tenacity about him when he goes and plays a game, especially at center. And, he commands that line. It's really special to see, and I'm excited to see where his game goes.
Some good battles this week, these practices.
The O-line. I know Jared Wilson went to school together, so going against him in a professional setting is pretty cool, and it shows you how old I'm getting in this league. I know I'm only 26, but the years go by really fast, and just seeing him progress into the player that he's becoming, and seeing him at center again, I think that's a pretty cool experience for me, at least.
You've experienced the highs of the highs here, winning the Super Bowl. How tough was this offseason for you guys, and how hungry are you to get back at it?
We're always hungry. That's kind of like I don't want to be the guy that says Super Bowl or bust, but that's what it kind of feels like, especially in the city of Philadelphia. The standard is high for us, and we have the high standard for ourselves. And nobody plays this game without the aspiration of winning the Super Bowl. And I think that's one thing that we can all hang our hat on, is just that we want to win. But we have to go through that process of each week, 1-0. Did we win the week? Let's win the next one. And that's all that matters.
It's pretty well established that the starters don't play in the preseason here in Philly. Would you be any more prepared if you took a series or two, or do you think the way it's works?
I'm not no coach. I can't really say. But anytime that we get a chance to put our pads on and go against an opponent, I think that's something that we all gear up for. I remember that last week we warmed up for Baltimore, and we was kind of getting into that mode, and it's kind of like you got to get yourself, and I don't want to say tease, but it's kind of like a tease yourself, and you're kind of like, man, like, I'm so geared up and ready to play, got your hands ready, and then, you gotta take your stuff off and take a shower in the locker room and stuff like that. So, anytime that we get an opportunity to go out on the field and play, at least for me personally, and I can speak for a lot of people on this team, we're really excited to put our pads on.
Do you like being kind of an example of that if the time can be well spent and that you can develop like that?
Definitely. I think that's one of the things that comes with being a fifth-year guy, a veteran, is just having a story that you can tell the younger players, no matter where they start, no matter where they finish. It's all about the progression. I can attest to myself. I can tell them my story, but everybody's story is different. And, as long as you reach one, each one reach one, you have no choice but to get better in the unit. It's all at the Clint. How we kind of do the rotations of everything. But JC, we know the type of player that he is, and we know that we love to have him, and he's the dominant force when he's out there. But it's just kind of like a next man up mentality. Not saying that he's not missed or he's not needed, but that's one thing that we kind of put on ourselves. We all want to be the best in the world. We all want to be the best players that we can be. And when somebody goes down, whether it's JC or BY, everybody else has to kick it in gear.
Okay, thanks, JD. We have Saquon.
Chasing your ass around practice.
Let me know if the audio is working good for everybody in the chat. I think they got one more person speaking, and then that's it. Saquon. See if they ask him about the fight. Dun, dun.
Don't laugh at that.
He mad short. He had to pull the microphone way downtown. He said, "Don't laugh at that."
Yeah, I mean, it's good work. Great competition. Probably take that out. Great competition. Going against a great team, well-coached team. So I kind of joint practice. I don't try to look too much into it. I don't look too much into the good. Don't look too much into the bad. It's all about the process, and are we doing the little things right? And I feel like we did a really good job of that. There's a lot we could still work on, and just get better from it and move on.
Is there some excitement about
Jalen Hurts Jr. now
with the new scheme and the way that you're performing here in camp?
Again, I don't look too much into the performance of it. I'm super excited because I know how great this team will be and how great we can be, and I know what it looks like when we're all on the same page and we're playing at a high level. But right now, this whole portion of camp and this part of the season is really about just grinding, putting little things together, staying focused on the little details, and getting better one day at a time. And that's kind of the mindset I have, and kind of the mindset I have for the rest of the season. Just be process driven. Don't really get too caught up in the results or what it can be or what it can look like, and just let the process take care of the rest.
We talked this morning about pre-snap operation, how they drill y'all with like bringing the play clock down to really try and put pressure on you guys. What's your takeaway from those things, and how do you feel like that's going in practice?
I didn't hear the first part, but yeah, I didn't really hear the first part. I know the second part, but who said that though? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Nick does a really good job of creating, chaos in practice, in drills. It's never, when you go out there, it's hardly ever. It's rare that it's going to be perfect. But just make us focus on the little things. Make sure our procedures where it needs to be. Getting it out of the huddle. That's something that every team right now in its phase is kind of working on. I think, like I said, I think Nick and Sean and all those guys do a really good job of creating that for us. And are we where we want to be? No. Would I want to be perfect right now? Not even too. So you just get better at it every single day and just move on.
What's the value of like testing the running game in a setting like this against another opponent, not just your own guys in training camp?
I'm the wrong guy to ask because I hate joint practice, to be honest. I think one day's good, but we play in a ego filled sport with a lot of men, and I'm all about just putting the work in, and it's good to go against someone new. I think we're at that part of camp where we needed to go against a new face. But I do think if you do it the right way, there's a lot of good out of it. Going against different looks, going against different people. It's hard when you got to run the same play over and over against JC and JD. They're pretty good players, and they get a hint of what you're doing. It's even harder to block. But yeah, when you do it the right way, it's good. But honestly, I'm not really a fan of joint practice. Just it's just more times than not, nothing good comes out of it. Like you get the when you have the work, it's good, but then you get the push in, the shove in, and someone say this about you, and I'm like, oh no, but I'm not that. You're this, and just like it's immature when we get to that level. I gotta do a better job too because I'm a little troublemaker sometimes. But I was good this week.
Was there a little more of that today though? Maybe a little after the whistle and stuff.
Yeah, that's bound to happen after day 2. You go back, you watch film. I don't believe in like someone won today versus they lost today, but you watch film and it's gonna be a little more. I don't want to say competitive because it's not even that. It's just, obviously football is just a physical game within itself, and it's just a little extra pushing and shoving. But we got to do a better job of also not allowing that to, have a factor in our practice, because I think Coach said it best at the end of practice. That stuff only lasts forever. That only lasts maybe 5 minutes. That's why big games aren't real things. You go out, you feel the atmosphere and the energy and all that lasts for such a little time. It really goes back to the little things. Who's have the better fundamentals, who's detailed, who's locked in, who's doing the right things. That's going to win a football game. So we got to do a better job of that. And as leaders, it's our job to lead in that area also.
It's been 3 weeks since we spoke to you. In that period, there have been 3 different backs who signed big.
That was interesting though. He was definitely preaching some Sirianni there, but also he sounded like joint practices. He just talk too much shit. I'm about to smack one of them boys. That's really what he wanted to say.
Deals, given kind of the position that you took a few years ago, how gratifying was that to see?
I love it. That's how it's supposed to be. Christian did it before me. I did after Christian, and now we got 3 in a row. I look forward to the next guy to do it. For a little short period of time, it went like that for every other position besides running backs, and you kind of can see that coming back to life. And those guys are well deserving of it. They're hell of a players. They make a lot of impacts in games for their teams. Their team is different when they're not on the field. So, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years, it keeps going higher, and that's how it's supposed to go, in my opinion.
Have you seen the view of the position shift in these past 2 years since you had the year you had?
No, I think it depends who you're talking to. Like every team and every GM is going to have a different opinion. When I rush for 2,000 yards, there's still some GMs probably don't think that I would make that difference on the team. And you have a guy like Howie who believed in me, and really that's all it takes is you need 1 or 2 people to believe in you. And I appreciate Howie for the opportunity and, you know, what we were able to do in 24, and hopefully we're able to do that again this year. And you can see that in the GMs and the teams over there with Bijan, with JT, with Gibbs, the type of players that they are. And, you know, so it's based on the team. I feel like, you know, there's probably still people who are stuck in their ways, not just for running backs, but other positions. You know, some people don't want to pay wide receivers this amount of money. Some people don't want to, everybody's going to pay the quarterback, like they're going to get paid. But depending on the position you're talking about. I feel good. I think Jamal has a really good game plan for me right now. You know, of how the week's going. I can feel my workload going higher and higher each week as we ramp up. You know, I just trust in him and Nando and our strength staff put me in a position to go out there when it's time to go, to have the condition, to be conditioned enough to go out there and perform at a high level for 4 quarters. You know, I don't believe in, you know, like, you know, you let the first 4 games get you set in, you know, from 1 to hopefully week 21 or 22, wherever it is. I want to be able to go at a high level. So trusting them, the way that they, you know, getting me ready each week and the plan that they have for me, and I'm just going to keep attacking it.
General impressions of the defense you faced the last 2 days and just of the team that Mike Vrabel?
I think they're a great team. I think they're a well-coached team. I'm not going to really get into speaking about individuals. I think they're a great team. There's a reason why they made it as far as they did last year, but it's a new year, it's a new start, and we're all trying to see where we're at. And that's the good thing about joint practicing when you're able to do that. But like I guess I've already told you how I felt about joint practice. But yeah, I got nothing but respect for all those guys over there, and you know, I feel like they have a good chance of going very far.
Jalen Hurts yesterday mentioned details and aligned and getting on the same page. Where do you think the offense is as far as that?
Yeah, you got a lot of work to do, and that's what you want. You know what I mean? But we still, 2 or 3 weeks away from week 1. You know, you don't. I do believe in, you know, taking steps each week, and it's never going to be perfect. Jamal did a great example yesterday in our meeting, and you know, he kind of created levels and like circled this were great, and like even when it's great, we still got more we can go to. We still got levels we can tap into, and that's the standard we got to hold ourselves to. And I know Jalen holds us to that standard, holds himself to that standard. So we got to be detailed, we got to be aligned. You know, all that when we know, you know, Howie and these guys do a really good job of putting together a really good team. And we know when we're all on the same page and we're playing at a high level, we're a tough team to beat. So that's why those little things are super important, more than others.
Is there anything that Sean's doing that's sort of unique this year that helps you guys get aligned, that helps you guys, you know, what have you noticed about his process?
I'm not gonna get too much into that. Obviously, you guys see a little bit of stuff that we're doing. I'm a big believer in not trying to give all the information you can here, especially when you got a new OC and you're going against a team that hasn't played you yet or played against him. But one thing that I think I would love to mention about him that a lot of people don't even see, and I don't even get to see, but when you talk to the coaches, you know, everybody keeps kind of mentioning it, the work that he's putting in. You know, I don't think there's really anybody that can beat him into the building, and I don't think he's still the last one to leave the building. And I think that's pretty cool when you have a guy who's that bought in to, you know, not just saying that he want to be great. It takes work to be great. It takes a lot of studying, especially at the position that he is with the, you know, his job he has to do, and to be the first man in and the last man to leave. You know, you want to go to war for a guy like that.
He said, "I hate joint practices. I'll smack the shit out of somebody on the Patriots." Oh, Coop. Coop.
How we doing? You guys are quiet.
How would you evaluate these 2 days and how the defense did?
I think we had a lot of fun, you know, getting to compete against another offense. You know, they gave us a lot of different looks that we might not get against ours. So, you know, I thought that part was good.
Coop is
yesterday,
swole.
you know, being able to watch, you know, the tape back, just seeing all the different looks and, you know, being ready and prepared for those today. And coming out and being better than we were yesterday, that's the goal every day in training camp. So it was fun.
You guys made a lot of plays in the red zone today, obviously red zone focus. What makes this pass defense so good in those tight quarters?
Yeah, I think, you know, when we all get on the same page and we're communicating, you know, and everybody's playing
You
with
look
confidence,
tired.
I think, we're tough to score in the red zone. I feel like we got a really good red zone defense. When everybody's on the same page, and that's the goal on defense, whether we're in the red zone or in the open field. Just getting everybody on the same page and playing at a high level, playing with confidence, good energy out there. But I felt like it was a good day in the red zone for us today.
Back and forth battles today. What did you see of what he had today?
Yeah, I love watching Reek. When he's playing at the top of his game, he's so fast and long. And he's fun to watch. When he's using his technique right. I have no doubt he's going to make some plays for us today. He's still working in the defense, understanding the ins and outs, of our defense. He's only going to get better.
A guy like Demario, what are the challenges you've gone through?
Yeah. Obviously for a bigger guy in the slot, it definitely makes it a little tougher when you got those shifty guys in the slot. So it was good for me to go against him, in one-on-ones, trying to work my technique, work my hands and feet, and in real life, action, team periods too. So I know it'll only make me better.
Kind of a kick that happened in the end zone, like with the routes. Is that something that kind of came up unscouted? And is that something y'all haven't seen yet in training camp? Or how do you work through that?
The pick?
Seemed like
that Reek had? Oh, the pick play. Which one are you talking about?
Like you guys were kind of working through how to.
Oh yeah, I'll have to watch that back. I didn't see, what happened on that side of the field, but you don't see that too often. That far away from the end zone. It usually happens, a lot closer to the goal line. But yeah, I didn't see that one, so I'll watch it back.
When you go back and watch the first day of joint practice, how much is that different than going in kind of blind, maybe without scouting a team like normally look for a game?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Obviously, you're not preparing for the offense you're going against when you come to joint practice. You're kind of going in there blind a little bit. Obviously, you have a little understanding of who they are as an offense. But when you get that first day, you're able to go back and look at the looks that they gave us, where they hurt us, and things that we did well too. So, I think we did a good job of that. Learning from our mistakes yesterday and cleaning those things up today.
A lot of base in those goals, playing safety. What's your takeaway from that experience against the team?
Yeah, it's been up and down kind of. I've been learning. Obviously, we got coaches in our room who are great at coaching me. But I'm starting to get comfortable back there, more and more comfortable as camp's gone on. I felt good out there today. Yesterday we got some challenging looks, for me back there, which I need to clean up and be better at. But I'm starting to get more and more comfortable back there, and communication's getting better. Everybody getting on the same page, and like I said, that's always key.
Michael Carr is going through the same process that you are. What have you seen from him as he's making that same adjustment?
Yeah, he's been great. I think he's been making plays, almost every day of camp. He's been fun to watch, and learn off of each other, which has been great. Anytime you got two guys, making the same move and playing the same two positions, you can always ask questions and learn from each other. So, it's been fun to go through that process with them.
Okay, thanks, Stu.
Appreciate it. And learn off of each other.
My bad. My bad. The mic was muted. I'm not gonna get too big on who won practice, who lost practice, none of that stuff. But the Eagles definitely did something. The Eagles came out fired up. The scuffles definitely motivated them. Defense stepped up multiple times. Offense stepped up multiple times. 3 total turnovers, 3 total touchdowns. Eagles turned the ball over twice. Patriots turned the ball over 3 times. Patriots scored 3 times. We scored 3 times. But when we had to have it, the last 11 on 11, when everybody's watching, as they all like to say, the Eagles got it done. Eagles got it done. Now, before we talk a little bit more, because I want to chop it up a little bit, we've been live for almost 3 hours, actually 3 hours. Let's hear another word from our sponsor, Prize Picks, which is America's #1 sports picks app. And it's so simple. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineups. That's it. However, maybe you rather pick the team that wins instead of player stats, which is now on Prize Picks. Spreads, totals, pick'ems, whether it's a game or a fight. And best of all, Prize Picks got a new user offer that is really going to benefit you. Now, just play $5 and get $150 in lineups. If you win, you got to use code HMA when signing up to once again play $5. If you win, you'll get $150 in lineups. Sheesh. Shout out to Prize Picks for being today's sponsor. And once again, this was the play that led to the Eagles' 3rd touchdown after the Jalix Hunt turnover, Reek and Hunt turnover. The Eagles went 4 plays. One to Goddard, 1 to Wicks, 1 to Hollywood Brown that was out of bounds, and then Jalen Hurts had the guts to come back to Hollywood Brown for the touchdown to pretty much end practice. That's the note you want to go out on. Simple and plain. The mommy coming up in here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wrong person. The one DM. Shout out to the one DM. I thought it was a whole different person. I read the name totally wrong. Shout out to coming up in here. Philly Strong. You already know. Joe said, thank you, Philly Mike, for going live for us bird brains. You already know. Appreciate it. Mulata is speaking. So Mulata was speaking. Okay, there was one more person. Gotta love the NFL players always saying, yes, they say in between a lot. Joe and Lewis said, yep, that is going to be Drake May's downfall, forcing it to AJ Brown. Pays off sometimes it don't. We gonna figure it out. We've been live for 3 hours. I know Mulata's speaking. Shout out to Tiffany for letting me know. But if Mulata says anything crazy, we'll bring it up in a video. Make sure you got the notification bell hit, because I don't know if I will drop my video talking about everything, because there's always some stuff that we miss. Everything. And again, this is a 3-hour live stream. So if you're just tuning in, you can't go back. You're not going to go back and watch all 3 hours. But if you got the notification bell hit, I will drop a video. It might be 12 minutes. It might be 15 minutes. It might be 16 minutes. But it will have 3 hours of material in 16 minutes broken down. I love y'all to death. I love y'all rocking with me in the live stream, because then we can chop it up mano y mano. But I also would love for y'all to watch the videos. And the best way to be a part of both is to have that notification bell hit. It's like Philly Mike texting you, bink, let's talk some birds, bink. Until next time, you know what time it is. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We will be live for the Eagles and Patriots Saturday. Don't know what time it is, but I'll check it. Internet should be perfectly fine. We'll make sure of it. With that being said, let's check the like button. Y'all did pretty good in today's stream as well. Yesterday's stream was over 1,000 likes. Some of them likes came after, but it's over 1,000. Today we got 594. Can we get 6 people in here to get it to 600? We are 6 likes away from 600. I would greatly appreciate it if out of this 583 remaining, 6 of you can hit the like button. With that being said, I'll catch you on a video later today, or since there's not much to talk about tomorrow, which is Friday, maybe I'll set y'all up for a Friday morning video. It's either going to come out later today or Friday morning. Love and respect. Y'all got me over 600. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. Philly strong. We out.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking Sixers and the Bird Gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.